Greetings, folks. How y'all doing? Theoretically, we are going live. Hopefully, y'all can see me and I can see you, and all these wonderful things are happening. I was gathering up a bazillion different drinks for me to drink because, yeah, that's a thing. And, man, oh man. Excuse me. I also ate a very heavy lunch, which was probably not the smartest idea in the world. But so it goes. Sending out a tweet. Pictures, no D&D. I need to go to my D&D folder. Put up the teaser. And the people who are in this photo. Dragons are cats. Bird versus plane. Alicia. Good guy pie. Jeanette. Templar Warden. And Danny. And our good friends over at Cloak and Blaster. And I didn't put my Twitch channel. Because I'm an idiot. Brr. Lord, really? Where is it? Hey, Pro Streamer. I tweet things without telling people where to find us. Because, yeah, that's me. Tweet, let's try again. At, where we can you come find us is at twitch.tv.tallskull. Try slash tallskull. And let's drop the picture in there. Take two. We can do this. Pro Streamer, I've had a crazy 24 hours. Hey, there's a Viridian Knight. How you doing, BK? Bird. Dragon. Good guy. Alicia. Daniel. Jeanette. Danny. Cloak. Blaster. There we go. Much better. Oh, hi, folks. I can do this. I'm a pro streamer. I know how to do these things. I know how to run a stream. It's a lie. It's such a lie. Such a big lie. I admit it. It's a lie. We have got a fun episode. And, woohoo! Yay! Bit shirt. Yeah. So anyway, folks, how's everyone doing out there? I have had a crazy last 12 hours, I guess. No, we're going closer to 24 hours. Ran our Module 1 twice online. That was a blast. Ran it for friends and neighbors and folks that we met at GenCon. We had Mark Meir on board, and we played with him last night. We played with Scraticus and Alice this morning, also with Koros RPG, who was this really cool Dragonborn, and then Dustin and Devin, who are some of my great friends from the cosplay community, and who we hung out with and who ran a 10 Candles game for us at Gen Con our first night there. So, yeah. So, all of the above, and it was a blast. We had a great time. We ran live at Gen Con, as we announced last week or 2 weeks ago. I guess it was 2 weeks ago, because we were off on that Saturday of Gen Con. And we will be hearing more about that to come. And the outpouring of love and support by everybody for the new module over the last, like I said, 24 hours has been amazing. Thank you guys for everything, the retweets, the wonderful feedback we've been getting already, all of those things that have been going on. And yeah, you guys just seriously rock our world with all of the outpouring of just everything. I mean, you guys just have embraced our nice little world here, and yeah, we are humbled and honored to have such an amazing community who has been so supportive of us doing this little craziness called Bird in the Storm. And man, just don't even know how to express both of our gratitude at what you guys have done, and how everybody has just embraced our fun little project here. So thank you. Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that, Mecha Spider. All of our love to you as you're going through a tough time. And yeah, so we'll talk more about our module and what's going on, and we will probably hear a little bit more about GenCon from our friends. As some of this is the first time we've seen each other since GenCon. It will be cool to see how their re-entry went. I definitely had the post-con blues for sure, and there you have it. Like I said, we've got an interesting episode coming up for today. The whole cast seems to have already arrived, so I'm going to give them a little 1 minute warning, and then we're going to move them on here. About a minute, we're going to go live, folks. And yeah, we will go around the horn, see how everybody's doing, and yeah, we're going to play some Vice. I'm like on D&D marathon. I've already done 6 hours of D&D since last night at 7 o'clock. And I've got some more D&D tomorrow night that we'll be doing recording for later stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, with that, I am going to go ahead and say goodbye to you over here and let the folks and go ahead and swap out over to the other side. So I will see you guys in just a moment. Laters. Going live, folks. Switching you over in 3, 2, 1.
Always misses like everything.
And we are live once again here on the Vice. Look at that. Axel landed where he was supposed to land. I got these guys trained so well. On that note, let's go ahead and...
Yeah, I need to move.
Yeah. On that note, let's since you're right where you are, let's go ahead and start with Axel this morning. Tell us who you are and who you are playing.
Hello, I am Templar by...
So who?
Good start. I am Templar Warden. I am playing Hidden by Axel, the excitable Tabaxi wizard who is currently not being engulfed by the spirit of a death serpent.
Totally not. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the events of last episode. Next up, we will go with Dragons or Cats.
Rawr. I need a note to remind myself. Like you have to go slow, but mine says unmute. Seriously. Because I was about to roar. It's 4 a.m. Leave me alone, guys. Hi, I'm Dragons Like Cats, and I'm playing Vidar Lycran, the Moon Elf Hexblade Warlock. And ready to rock and roll.
Sweet. Next up, we have Tree Hugging Druid.
Hi, I'm Tree Hugging Druid. I play Celia / Izome, our wonderful high elf / moon elf rogue.
Titles.
Yes, you know, keeping up with all of everyone's alternate identities in the game is getting more and more difficult.
Yeah. So I get married in 2 months, and I can't seem to get away from anybody reminding me of the fact that I get married in 2 months.
Hey, by the way, you know what? You know what I heard? You're getting married in 2 months.
Yeah, that ring you liked? Yeah, you put it on it.
As long as it's not cursed.
I mean, let's hope not.
2 months. 2 months.
Get the nullifiers to check it out first.
Next up, we have, we'll jump to our buddy Bird versus Plane.
Hey folks, I am Bird versus Plane. I'm going to be playing Iskatul, the half-elf bard / gunslinger. That's it. Who is just coming down from a real trippy experience, man. Hopefully we can unpack that a little bit.
Little bit of unpacking to do. Next up, we have NNG9.
Hello, viewers. It is I, NNG9, who plays Luna, our water genasi monk, who was totally right about Florian. Suck it, all of you. Except you, Kyle. You weren't there.
Yeah. Next up, we have Good Guy Pie.
Hello, I'm Good Guy Pie, and Jeanette's getting married in 2 months. And I will be playing Luck. I haven't done a voice in a while. Luck Goldheart, adventure extraordinaire, all the way from Elevation Pit, who is a blood hunter human who was old, now is young, and is just. And I'm going to jail.
Tiefling.
We'll see. Who knows? Maybe you won't. But, you know, maybe you will. Anyway, last but not least, we have Tunarth.
Hello, I am Tunarth. I am playing Kel, the Wood Elf Druid, who has no alternate identities. He's just Kel. And he's once again probably going to miss a massive exposition dump because he spent the last episode being decursed and having a giant thorny brambly wooden ring pulled through his neck after he had his hand chopped off and reattached.
It was
and has 4 levels of exhaustion.
Yes. But that's not all. And
You also get a car.
yes.
And there are other consequences of what happened that I apparently don't know about because that was a huge hint.
So, couple things. We got some housekeeping to do, but first, let me tell you a little bit. Actually, I'm going to turn it over to Alicia NNG9 to tell you a little bit about the charity that we're supporting this month.
Thank you very much, Jade. This month's charity, since the channel is run 100% for charity, this month's charity being Pathways to Safety International, an organization dedicated to helping victims of abuse. Abuse can happen to anybody. It doesn't matter your gender or race or standing. It happens to anyone. You can call them. You can go to the website. Although if you do go to the website and you're worried about your activity being monitored, please use a public space like a library so that activity can't be reported there. They have counseling, lots of different good services. If you would like to know more about the organization, please click on the purple lettering in the description below. If you'd like to donate through our channel with the donation levels below, you can click on the banner and it'll take you to the thing where you put in the money and you help people.
Very cool. And I just remembered that I have not updated the donation levels since we since I changed it out for our Bird in the Storm sessions. So I will be doing that. For those of you who aren't familiar, you are able to donate, and I will be getting the list back up and updated here in just a second. But you can donate to influence the game. You can give people what we call our luck dice, basically a mulligan, a reroll on a d20, advantages, and healing die. There's lots of different levels, and I was smart enough to save them all so I can just cut and paste them right back in. And I will be doing that even as we speak. I am pressing the Control-C, and since I can't multitask, you will get to hear me say this out loud, because, yeah.
Have you all tried D&D Beyond? It's an excellent service. It's great for campaigns.
And
Yes.
also organizing your characters. Also, that was
You
a
got the
wonderful
perfect warlock already.
Oh,
To save you from any more of that. However, I do love my D&D. I do love my D&D Beyond, and I do highly recommend it, especially for campaigns and allowing people to share the resources that you might purchase on there. You can have a campaign builder where everyone has access to everybody else's books, all at the same time, which makes it super cool. So anyway. A little more housekeeping to do. We do have a level 2 spell in the spell bank that we need to roll for. So, Dragons or Cats, roll me a, if you will, go ahead.
How did you know I was already typing?
Go ahead and roll me up. I believe for level 2 it is a D5 is the first roll.
Let me turn on numlocks. Book 5. I got a 5.
Let me make sure I was right. I'm sorry. Roll a D. Well, we'll roll a D4. It's a D4, not a D5.
So re-roll on a 5.
On 2, roll me a D20.
Go, Dash, go.
On a 17, 20, 19, 18, 17. Oh, isn't this handy? Currently, the spell in the spell bank is a scroll of invisibility. Because that came in handy last time you needed it. So right now at our current spell level, we have that. Other housekeeping piece that we have, we did in fact run our game live last Friday at GenCon with Dragons or Cats, Bird vs. Plane, NNG9, also Grimjack, Greg, who you might know from other places around the interwebs, and Laugh Love Lindy. We weren't sure how it was going to work, but we tried it anyway. We dropped a mic in the middle of a table in the middle of Lucas Oil Field, which is the giant professional football stadium that is over there, and actually recorded really pretty good audio from it. I am going to be doing a little bit of editing of it because of some of the gaps that we had in our recording as people took breaks and stuff, just to shorten it down. And we will be releasing it out for folks to be able to listen to in the form that it is in. Do understand that it was in a very big, very loud stadium. There is about a 15-minute section where the folks next to us were cheering off the beginning of some kind of giant tournament, which kind of drowns all of us out. I might just cut that out. I'll see how bad it is. But if you don't want to go through that audio experience, you can check our good friend NNG9's Twitter account, where she's periscoped. I think we got about 8 highlights.
It was a number of them.
Yeah, 8 highlights from what all happened there, which is canon.
Totally not a ploy for you to follow me on Twitter.
There you go. Which is canon to our story, and in fact, it is where we are going to pick up our story today, as 3 of our players find themselves... Actually, let's back up and recount what happened last time. So last time, after a unfortunate release of magical excitement, as Luna tried to frame it up for
it totally could have worked.
For the officers that showed up at their door, as they are staying in sort of the presidential suite of the nicest diplomatic hotel in the large city of Falcon's Crest. It is a city, as you can see by the art, is known because it is perched upon a huge plateau, 4,000 feet up the sheer granite cliffs of a plateau. It is the capital of the humans of this continent. It is known as the diplomatic city pretty much for all races. It has a huge area known as Sentinel Row, which is sort of where embassies are, leaders of state, merchant princes, people from across the sea all gather in order to interrelate with one another within the city itself. Our party, having made great friends with a very influential family, the Linforts here in town, having returned pretty much 20,000 gold pieces worth of whiskey that had been stolen from them, returned it back to them. In Falcon's Crest, money does not mean as much as influence, and so instead of paying them off, as that would be insulting to just offer them gold, our good friend Beauregard Linfort, a sort of Kentucky Fried whiskey dude, offered him a place to stay while they were in town, which happened to be the presidential suite of the Windward Star, this hotel which he happens to own, and put them up there in the lap of luxury, the likes of which pretty much none in the party had ever experienced before. After a night's rest, a letter arrived the next morning, or more of a pass, I would say. Sort of think of it as, if anyone's flown, sort of as your pre-check to be able to pass through security to get in Sentinel Row. Kel and Celia had an altercation over getting that pass, as Kel wanted to leave right away. Celia wanted to keep the group together, as everyone had agreed that would be their next stop, was to try to deliver the letter that Kel was carrying, and in hopes to find answers about his cursed brother, whose soul is currently trapped within a seed that he is carrying with him. And in the course of all of those events, Kel cast a Thunder Wave, which brought the guards upon them, the Talon Guard as they are known, and a member of the Arcana Mystica, one Castian Varro, who is, as Celia recognized, a blade singer from Balathir, one of the sort of elite fighters and warriors, magical warriors, probably throughout the land. Even her group, the Obsidian Order of Assassins, sort of show deference to this group, as they are quite skilled in all that they do. After getting in there, he examined the scene and was able to spy the cursed ring upon Kel's finger, in which he called forth a group known as the Nullifiers. And as they arrived, he himself was even surprised that Ulch Nullifier Eva Grimm entered upon the scene, and a sort of dour, older, half-elven woman, silver of hair, showing her age, the equivalent of probably her mid-60s if she were human, probably in her 120s, 130s, being half-elven, came in and pretty much took control of the situation. She was there with her 3 acolytes, immediately proceeded to do sort of a brute force effort of trying to get rid of the curse, as she has often done before, and chopped Kel's hand right off, having it captured inside a ring of magical runes. When that didn't work and the ring reappeared, materializing around Kel's neck, she was like, "Let's see how nasty you really are," and took Kel into one of the bedrooms, where she began a ritual, one of her more powerful ways to deal with curses that dare to not bend immediately to her will. She pulled out a set of what looked like 6 diamond prayer beads, and proceeded to use each one of those, the spell gem that they are, to pretty much in rapid fire succession cast 6 powered word kills on Kel, revivifying, or in 3 times revivifying him, 3 times having to truly resurrect him back from the dead, but eventually prying this ring from around his neck, as Kel was visited by flashes of his life flashing before his eyes, and then contained the ring. Meanwhile, 3 of our characters, Luna, Iska, and Vidar, felt sort of drawn out towards the balcony, where they saw a winged creature flying towards them, which in our world is very strange, as flight is pretty much unheard of once the Netherwings have arrived. Keeping Luck and Celia occupied, Casti and Varro began examining Luck more closely with this gem that seemed to be able to detect curses. Luck getting more and more nervous as he is a blood hunter and kind of is a walking curse in of himself. Axel, while the ceremony was going on, felt Sithrax, the serpent of death that he wears itself like a tattoo, but has been known to creep and crawl around upon his body. With every casting of the spell became stronger and larger until it wasn't just a single circlet around his neck, was literally wrapping all the way down his arm to his necrotic hand that was affected by wild magic within the vice. Our party members out on the balcony were visited by a strange-looking woman with the top from her eyes up to the top of her head painted blood red, blonde hair spilling down over her shoulders, a huge raven feathered cloak around her, as they realized that this wasn't a dragon or just a bird flying towards them, it was a druid. And she landed upon the balcony, touched each one of their foreheads in rapid succession, and said, "To know what is coming, you must see what has happened before you." And they were transported into a vision, which we played at GenCon. They, at the end of that session, they found themselves awakening, still standing there, hardly any time, if even milliseconds, having passed on the balcony. The strange woman gone, the three of them looking at each other after this incredible experience. And that is where we will pick up today's session.
Oh. Slow head turn, pan through Luna and Iska.
You all, did you see that too? All of that? We have to tell the others. We have to tell Kel. We have to tell Axel.
Oh my god, we have to tell Axel. We have to tell them both.
Yeah.
She's in that room. With him.
Oop, I froze.
Well, no, she. Sorry. The Arch Nullifier is still in the room with Kel, or she's in the room with Axel now?
She is in the room with Kel still at this point. Or actually, you really don't know, as you guys were facing outwards. She could have crossed over behind you. You're not sure exactly where she is. She's most likely, the last you know of, she was in the room with Kel.
I saw through her eyes.
I saw through the tiefling's eyes.
And Florian's.
Was Florian the first? Was he the first?
We will need to talk to him eventually.
Eventually.
But Eva is here now.
Let's.
Should we tell the others first, or talk to her first?
The others have to know. The others have to know.
The others will know.
Let's see if Kel is conscious. Let's go talk to Axel. Let's get everyone back together.
All right.
What? Hold on. Do you recall when she sat down and burned that incense? It's stupid to imagine that Ishgrin interfered. I don't think she knows what it means, but she knows the anchor. She's seen the blue glitter of Ishgrin. She's seen it. She's heard it.
So she knows there is an Eladrin out there, or does she?
I don't know. It was just the glitter she saw. It was just the glitter. But it swirled around. It swirled around Kel's mom. Ravinian.
Does she know about the prophecy?
I don't know.
Either way, we want to tell the others first.
We need to
Let's
tell the
go do
others.
that.
Each and every one of them was involved in that. We have to go tell them now.
We have to tell them now.
And go back inside and see what the scene is like inside.
As you come back inside, you see Castian standing there with Celia and with Luck. And pretty much right as you enter in, you see Eva come out of the room and just sort of looks at you and goes, "She lives. Where's the tabaxi?" And she just starts marching as though drawn. Never mind, I found him. And marches into the room pretty much straight across sort of y'all's living room area and goes into the room where Axel is. Axel, you are in there and you see this nullifier, this Eva Grimm in her black robes with sort of the gold embroidery on it, the sort of pencil skirt with a slit, her gray hair pulled back and tied, and walks into the room that you sort of retreated to after Sithrax. You realized he wasn't just moving around, he was growing.
You were... Hi.
She sort of looks at you and smiles, and then looks at your arm and goes, "Oh, hello there. It's been quite some time." And she reaches out her hand, and Sithrax slithers off of your arm and up onto hers. She looks at it and goes, "So you found a new friend? I thought I felt you feeding." And she goes back to you and she goes, "You will use him with care, won't you?" And hands him back, and Sithrax slithers back onto your arm and around, back nestled on your neck.
I hope to never to have to use him, but yes. Well, I've been drawing upon, he can use his power to cast some spells, but I wasn't planning to use him as he actually wants to. Just a question, none of the actual characters actually seen Sithrax, have they?
They've seen what seems to just be a black stripe on you. A new black
Iska.
stripe. Yeah, other than Iska, no one else has seen Sithrax.
Can I talk to you about this later? Is Kel all right?
He lives. He'll be weakened for quite some time. He was quite a nasty ring. He fared as well as could be expected. I only had to resurrect him 3 times. So, Sithrax, when after feeding like this, you don't have to release him in his entirety. In fact, it seems as though, she looks at your hand, you have a nice conduit to sort of siphon him off. You'll find your hand there will be a nice way to channel him a little more discreetly than his normal rampage. And with that, Axel, with your necrotic hand, you have 6 charges of inflict wounds that can be used either at each charge as though it is a level of a spell. If you wanted to cast a 6th level inflict wounds once, you could, or 6 first levels, or however many charges you would like to do, as Sithrax has fed well, and after your truce that you made with him up in the vineyard, he seems to be happily and content and well fed currently.
All right.
About this ring. I'm going to have to examine it, but I'll want to talk about everything that you know about it. Perhaps in a day or two after we get this contained. It did not come easily, and I'm afraid it needs something more than just this. As you can sort of see this box she has it in rattling. Do you have any immediate questions or concerns?
Do you know if this curse jumps from person to person, or if, say, it was resolved, would it return, or is that potentially a separate curse?
I'm not sure. I'll have to examine this more closely. This curse is contained for the moment. It doesn't mean other curses aren't out there or available.
Yes, so there was... That ring was first on his brother, who was cursed and died. His brother's bow might still be cursed. Do you want me to get that out? It was well contained, but...
Yes, let me have it.
Yes.
It could be that they're connected. It could be a conduit to allow the ring to return.
It's in the other room. He sort of keeps a good amount of spaces when he tries to shuffle past to get into the other room, because he's left the bag holding in there.
Yeah. So she follows you out there as you, I assume, just retrieve the bow.
He's gonna check that it's actually properly wrapped before he even goes to pull it out.
Right, of course.
Yeah, and he sits upon the bed. And
you pull it out. It still seemed to be wrapped up. She looks at it and she goes, "Not quite as nasty, but it's better to be safe. This curse is a bit unique. It seems to have a bit of the vice in it as well." And she takes the bow and the ring. At this point, you do see the three acolytes come out of Kel's room, having finished their duties of stabilizing Kel. And as she walks out the door, as Castian is staring at Luck and Celia, what are you guys doing as Castian, under his scrutiny as this little interaction has happened? You have been standing there with Castian.
It's a stupid idea, but like wherever Castian is looking with his ring, or his thing, Luke's gonna just have his hand sort of gently just moving, following it. The hand with the heart ring on it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And as he moves it, he follows your hand and he goes, "It's a broken curse. It was cursed at one point. Is that what is happening?"
Yes, I had a bit of a hiccup with it when I found it. Figured it out later from some inscribings that appeared on it.
Interesting. Well, you know where to come if you have any more problems. Don't let it get out of hand. He kind of looks at you questioningly. Do a deception check for me.
Ooh.
I'll give you advantage but with the 20, he knows you're holding something back, but his ring is telling him that it's a sort of dormant, cursed item. He sort of looks at Celia, who is sort of came over, and sort of looks at her. Yes?
Celia just says, she goes, "Sorry, have it."
And he sort of looks at you. He doesn't turn the crystal on you, though, so he doesn't catch anything about your ring. And as Eva comes by, she goes, sort of with a snap in her voice, "Castian, we'll need an escort. Come along." And
so Eva's getting ready to leave?
Yeah, Eva's heading out the door.
One of the talkie people want to say anything? No? Okay. Eva?
Miss Grimm.
She looks around at the two of you.
I have a question regarding something from... I can't remember. The vision was 70 years ago or 90?
90.
90. From 90 years ago.
She looks at you, looks at Vidar. I'm going to have her roll an insight real quick. I don't have her sheet up right this second. But I pretty much remember her insight. Oop. Whoever's hammering on something.
It's 4:30 in the morning. There's no one hammering anything. I mean, that could be a lie. Neighbors.
That's neighbors just want me to know they're there.
There you go. On a 17, she looks from one of you to the other of you, seeing their concern. And once you say 90 years ago, she goes, I'll summon you to my quarters. It's always best to talk of the past when you know you're in private.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss Grimm.
And
thank you.
She does a quick heel turn and goes out the door.
I'll take it. Worth it.
Hands on thighs, bent over. Deep breaths, Hudar. Deep breaths.
Luna just kind of pats his back.
So are we alone now without any of the acolytes?
There's everyone at this point would be in the main room except for Kel.
Okay.
Axel's going to go in and look at Kel.
Yeah, I was going to say hushed tones, but everyone, we have to talk about something. But first, we should check on Cal.
Already gone. Axel did not stay in the room after everyone left. Out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's just going to go and check on Cal. He's not actually going to stand that close. Like, he's just sort of safe distance.
Okay. You guys go into there, and you see Kel. He is, it looks like hell, as he has been through the ringer. They have pumped healing magic into him. However, he does have 4 levels of exhaustion. He currently has only, what's your con? Is con bonus is 3 or 2? One plus your con bonus hit point maximum.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't have my character sheet up because I didn't think I'd need it. My Constitution bonus is normally 3.
Yeah. So currently you have a maximum of 4 hit points is where your hit points lie. 1 plus con. As you are extremely weak and having been resurrected, not just revivified, but having to be full resurrected from your death saving throws 3 times, the penalties with such resurrections do count. So for the next 12 days, you will be working off penalties to your rolls, beginning at -12, then -11, -10 for attacks and saves. As normally for each resurrection, it is a -4, and you have been through 3 in rapid succession. Certainly the ring is a way to potentially help things out. Also, greater restorations can help to take care of some of those things. But you are in pretty dire straits as far as your health goes at this moment. Or, as I was sort of mentally going through it, many of the people in your level 0 NPCs, level 1 NPCs, you're able to walk around, you're able to move around, things like that. It's just as far as your activities would involving into a combat or things like that, you would be severely disadvantaged at right now due to the fact of just the physical and mental toll of going through that experience.
Well, yes, and I also have to take a long rest to remove one level of exhaustion. So, I mean, currently my hit point maximum is halved. I have disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. My movement speed is halved, and I have disadvantage on ability checks.
Yep.
And then minus 12, minus 11, minus 10 on top of all of that.
Yeah.
You can't cast spells as well.
So I can't do it. I'm useless.
Well-
Stupid question, because I'm reading the thing in front of me. But in narrative, does lesser restoration do anything? Would it do anything to help him out, or is it totally written as? Okay.
It's just like poison and
Yeah, that just does
some minor
poison
stuff.
and stuff. It would take a greater restoration. Certainly.
Well, if you get any poison ivy or something, man, let me know.
Yeah.
Well, he's still half blind, so like there's still that like little faint bit of icicles.
yeah, there's that too.
Okay, I can do that.
Yes, you could remove the blindness, and so Kel is looking really rough. I mean, his skin tone is kind of gray, but the ring is gone.
Guys, we have something to tell you all.
Wait a minute. Did they come into?
Yeah, they're all in the room. I'd say.
Yeah, are you
we're all in the room
conscious?
with you.
Yeah.
I
was talking to the
probably not conscious at this point after being through that. After having just gone through that.
No, they actually the acolytes basically. I mean, think of sort of a surgeon. Eva left and sort of pumped magic into you to get you awake and conscious. That's what the acolytes were doing, as they were sort of, the surgeon left and she sort of went to the, he all closed for me,
Right.
and they at least got you awakened. You are certainly fatigued, you are exhausted, but awake.
Okay.
How you feeling, Cal?
Where is she? She promised to save my brother. She took him. I gave him to her. Where is she?
Is Kelsey like in his pouch on the table or something, or?
Yeah, you can. If you guys look around, you can see that the seed that Talarian soul is in is still there. All of his belongings are still there. She has not taken anything with her other than the ring.
Your brother is still in the sea. He is here.
She didn't take him. She promised. We need to save him. I need to save my brother. Kel will try and weakly push himself out of the bed and has no strength to do so, but he's struggling and trying to get up.
Yeah, you try to sit up and all but fall back onto. And again, it pretty much is just a stone slab at this point. They took everything off the bed in order to do set up the ritual.
Yeah.
Look is gonna grab him before he falls back properly and just prop him up against the wall. Just so he's sitting up. I'm like, guys, slow down. I don't know what they've done to you, but you look awful. And you don't look like you have the strength to get up. We can help you. Your brother can be helped when you can help yourself.
And he just slumps and falls back and turns his head and
Cal, the ring is off. This is the first step. This is a step forward.
I hurt.
I know. But
And she
the curse is
promised. But she promised. She promised.
These things take time, Cal. Let the process work.
There is no time. There's time for nothing. Everything is wrong. Everything is ending. I don't know what to do.
There's a lot we don't know. And there's a lot we have to do. If you think you don't have time, you do. There's time for you to heal, to figure out this curse. I have 31 days to exist. And in that time, I'm going to try to do as much as I can. And then if I have no idea what's going to happen. Probably in pure fashion, he will be back. So that's my conundrum. While I'm here, let me help, at least. So as much as we can.
I don't understand.
Axel, as you cast Identify on the seed, it does not seem to have changed. It is the same as you had first when you first identified it way back. It does seem to contain a soul within it, a necrotic energy, and other than it's the same as it was.
There's more to confirm that. Yeah, it's still the remnant soul, and they are not. Nothing is restored in that sense.
Iscalona, so how should we break the news to her?
Florian killed another wing.
Sorry, what?
Florian killed the first Neverwing.
Okay.
Well, a netherwing, whether it was the first or not.
First to kill a
remains to be
Neverwing.
Maybe we should give a little context for this and back up a second. This is going to be a lot. This is going to be a lot.
Are you sure this is the best time?
I don't know if there's ever going to be a good time.
It's been a morning, guys. What's one more hit?
Should we play cards instead?
Part of me says yes.
Axel's in the main room with his bellbook now.
Are you back?
Axel's gone. Okay.
He's just
Hold on,
sort
let me
of
get Axel.
not staying in the same room as everyone else at the moment.
Vidar goes out, opens the door, and just goes, "Axel, come on. We need to talk."
There's chairs in here. Okay, yeah, fine. He picks
You can
picks
bring
up
the chair
paper.
with you if you want.
Fine, he's finds a spot. He's gonna still be studying his spellbook while he listens here.
Okay.
Vidar, Iska, and myself all received a vision from someone.
The vineyard.
The vineyard. It was from 90 years in the past, hence what we asked Eva about. Eva was there as well. There was a Netherwing attack occurring. Florian was there to guard some of the people. And the Netherwing was able to summon smaller ones with a breath of attack of some kind. And this seemed to be a constant thing. They were targeting airships constantly.
Well, taking whatever was in their space down.
But
When
it wasn't just Florian, and it wasn't just Ava. There was a tiefling woman. There was a druid named Ravinia, a wood elf named Ravinia, and there was a dwarf named Grom.
Dogomar is
Just looking directly at Axel and hoping his head pops up at the sound of that name.
His head sort of been going up and down. Oh. And they were aboard this airship fighting Netherwings.
They were going somewhere, and the Netherwing attacked them.
Eventually got to the hangar we were at when we fought the Mass Dragon. That hangar.
I can't remember. Did the hangar have a passage that led to the temple, or does that? I know there was a hangar, and we got to the temple.
the hangar. No,
I can't
remember you, Ravinia spider climbed you down the side.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
It was,
Okay,
yeah,
there we go.
below Windstone Village was where the entrance was.
Okay.
When the smaller Neverwings died, they exploded into black glitter, just like our legend friend. But black.
They were brought together by Grom. Grom was on a mission. Grom brought these people together to go deep into the earth, deep beneath the vineyards themselves, the very same ones that we came through. There's a temple down there. There's something hidden down there. And something going on with... Is she even still the head of the Arcana Mystica?
The Grand Mistress, as it were. She performed some unholy ritual, trapped souls in statues and corrupted them. It was a blood ritual. She summoned the Netherwings.
She brought them here. In that temple, there's 2 sets of 7 statues. Shield, sword, burden, hands of the ancients. We're all down there.
All of those names Gwyll and Fura gave us.
All represented in raven-like statues.
Sucking in souls and used for whatever terrible ritual this was.
She also used the soul of an unborn child to power it. Power the summoning, which she apparently missed something, and the summoning was incomplete. It could have been worse than it currently is.
She was missing the anchor. Ava knows about the anchor. Typical fashion, Ishkan interfered. Ava's seen the blue glitter. She knows, looking over at Kel.
This group, the one that went down there, Grom did something to her, took something from her, took a secret from her mind and stored it in. And Iska will look to Axel to see if he has the Mirror of Peeping. Sorry, Mirror of Secrets now, like out and available.
I mean, he doesn't have it out, but yeah.
But she like will just like look at Axel, look up and down, and just say, "Your mirror."
It's the same one you saw Ishrin vanish. That one. That holds. He completed his mission. Seems like he's passed it down. That mirror holds something, Axel. Holds a terrible secret, whatever it is.
So let's that's a lot. Let's go back. So
Yes.
Grom formed this
It's-
group, which included Eva and Florian and a tiefling woman and the elf druid and
Ravinia,
that-
yes.
Ravinia. They flew an airship over here, risking
Yes.
the attack of the Netherwings, or were that? Do you know it was because they were on an airship, or the Netherwings were targeting them? Did you get
They-
any sense of?
The Netherwings seem to attack anything in the air. The larger it is, the more likely it is they attack it.
The smaller ones were eating through the magical crystals that powered the ship.
By the way, Axel has activated the crystal, the mirror. He just sort of put it on the ground there and activated it, and
Nice.
it's letting it absorb the event. Ish. Saving if that works. Okay. Then they got to the hangar, went down the cliff. All of them together, knowing this was their plan, or
From the rough
Grom,
way.
some knew more of the plan than others. Grom seemed to know the entirety, but they all agreed to go down.
I see. They went down, came to this temple, and fought the Grand Mistress of encountered the Grand Mistress of the Kana, who summoned the Netherwings from their pocket dimension in the first place, and was attempting another ritual with.
Yes.
She was attempting to fully complete it. The first summoning was incomplete, was my understanding.
Which I don't know what that means yet. I don't think any of us really understand what incomplete means, but if incomplete still summons the Netherwings, it's gotta be huge.
Also, there was something odd about her eyes when the encounter first started. They were blood-colored. And then they eventually cleared. I don't know if that means some outside force was acting on her, but even when her eyes were clear, she seemed to have some idea of what was going on. So I don't
Excellent.
know.
Glances over at Luck and then turns back. So, did they? Did she survive? Did they defeat her?
She
Or
were they-
survived.
She bamfed out. She teleported away.
I see. So she teleported away.
That's when the Neverwing came out. That's how Grom lost his leg. His legs.
I see. And the ritual failed. She teleported away, leaving them down there with a Netherwing that emerged from the ritual, or just showed up.
One she
It
summoned.
was just there.
She
It
summoned.
was waiting. There was a
Did you
swirl of. There was a storm of souls overhead as well. It's where Florian was able to muster the power to defeat the Neverwing. Apparently using old friends as inspiration. I feel like that's what she was missing. In this storm of souls, she was missing an anchor.
And you say, each of those statues, the hand of the ancients, the anchor,
Soul burdened.
No,
One
it
was
a
soul burdened.
statue
Yeah, I can't
for
remember any of
each
the titles.
One with a shade, one with a shield.
Shield, sword, blade, mother.
Us.
Jay, you're muted.
Thanks.
I saw that damn.
Yep. Yes, a blade, a sword. I'm sorry, a blade, a shield, a hand, an instrument, a mother, a figure within a figure, like being reborn, and then a figure who was burdened, carved into ancient stones, similar to the ones that you found up in the vineyard.
2 sets
And the
of
temple
these.
the temple was directly below the vineyard, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Directly.
Yeah, by the time you went through the caves, it basically took you back to what would be underneath the vineyard. 2,000 feet down.
Relay that as well.
2 sets of these statues, one thousands of years old, the other not quite as old as that. This is not the first time something like this has happened, but this means that in another time, in another place, there were people with these same destined names.
And presumably they failed, or perhaps maybe they never existed. Maybe these were all ways to stop them coming about. We don't know for sure. If she was attempting to control these forces, it might explain things, but I don't know. It's a lot. Well, yeah. So
The
only
druid, the druid you saw.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mishkin called her the anchor.
Do you know why she was on the airship in the first place?
She was on a mission of revenge, she said. That the Archmistress had murdered her husband.
Kel, you can see the blood has drained from his face. And you can see his eyes are dotting back and forth. Just wheels are spinning, and
Kel?
he's just got a completely stunned, almost panicked look on his face.
Does something ring familiar?
That's my mother.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Oh.
But if you're saying she was the anchor,
Kel, how old are you?
Iskrin told me that I'm an anchor.
Perhaps it is genetic, or some combination of that with spiritual.
Looks like
She probably wouldn't have said the word genetic. Whatever. Blood something.
Yes.
it was passed down by blood.
Blood,
Could he
soul,
There we go.
Yeah.
the magic of souls.
Souls are a powerful thing, apparently. Even knew that.
My mother never talked about her past much.
Grom never
I
told.
knew she
never
had
told me.
been married before to a high elf who had taken her with him back to the city. I know I have 2 older brothers somewhere. I don't even know their names. I've never met them. Her husband died in some kind of tragic circumstance that she would never discuss. And she eventually came back home and met my father many, many years later, and had my brother and me.
Seemed seems Vinny and Grum were friends then, for a time. Allies.
Brian and Eva and the tiefling woman. Did she have a name that you knew?
Val,
Yes, it was
wasn't it?
they.
Oh, I'm
They-
sorry.
Eastergard. She seemed unusual for a warlock. There were odd
That's saying
things about
something.
her. Moon will just look over to Iska for a sec, raise an
Yeah.
eyebrow, lower it again.
Truly saying something. They were a character. They were a character indeed.
Details on this?
Details about what specifically?
What sort of character they were? It could mean all sorts of things, that place.
They
They were interesting.
was-
They channeled negative energy.
Yes, she seemed to specialize in necromancy.
Please tell me more about what you saw. What you saw of my mother.
Your mother wiped an entire field of smaller netherwings with frost magic. These netherwings seem susceptible to frost magic. She obliterated 6 of them
In one
in a
spell.
single action. And the larger ones also seem to be incredibly reticent and weak to it.
If their weakness still holds,
It's something.
we have a way.
Now I think I understand. Last time I saw her, she warned me against flying. She begged me never, never to attempt. I just thought she was being a mother. I mean, it wouldn't have occurred to me anyway, because who flies? But,
90 years ago they did.
well, I'm only 30. And now, where's the letter? Where's my letter?
It is there among your things on the
And-
bedside table.
And Kel tries to get up to go get the letter and it fails.
Axel just picks it up and takes it over to him. And snaps the mirror shut and puts it away. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. If this letter came from your mother here, it might be related. Although I'm very curious about yes.
No, Kel isn't saying anything, but he's never shown anybody this letter before, and now he's going to hand it to Axel and show it around so everybody can see who it's addressed to.
It is addressed to Valerian Delgaranor. And yes, Axel, that name rings a bell with you. The last name does.
What does it ring a bell? I know that's the name. It's familiar.
All the way back at Florian's party, the orders that the leaders of the Arcana Mystica, well, they were being told to follow, were from Archmistress Delgaranor.
He sort of just puts it on the table again. I find it strange if Florian either fought the Archmistress to stop her completing the spell. How come they're members, influential members of these orders?
That is a question we're hoping to figure out the answer to eventually.
Luna asked to speak with Eva again, and she said she would summon us. We can speak to her then. We can speak to her about the seed then as well. She says to Kel.
I think that's why she started the nullifiers in the beginning. Back then, she was just a powerful cleric within the Arcana Mystica. Now she has higher authority within it, in her own sect in the nullifiers. Maybe she's had 90 years to work on something. 90 years to connect dots, 90 years to undo the damage that's been done to her sanctuary, her vineyard.
90 years to hide away in the forest. Hope somebody else fixes your problems. Yeah.
90 years to play the long game. And as an Archmistress, you don't think... Try to move against someone of such high power with accusations.
Well, you could just abandon them in the middle of nowhere where they hate their post and they despise their own companion. It's not a pretty picture.
No.
But we can, we're here now. A lot. We still have to bring back Cal's brother. We still have to help restore the vice, and now this. I'm just wondering which part of this is the one we're supposed to be doing.
I don't know, but I do know I'm off to go and get a drink. Anyone can join me.
I'm not finished yet. I'll join you later.
I am done with today. I'm sorry, Kel. I'm sorry, everyone. But I will be drinking all day. I will not be coming out of the tavern. I am done with this. This is insane. I don't even want to start. As Luke just turns around and walks out.
Close the door on your way out.
And you just hear, poof!
Is Luna still missing trousers? Pants?
No, she's in a robe.
No, she has pants on. She...
If Axel says that out loud, Vidar just flushes and is just like, oh my god, Luna.
Actually, he might say that out loud.
I have something very important to show you. We've seen it, Luna.
Oh my god, I've seen Luna's. Okay.
Tension is broken.
Oh my god.
We're back, boys. Girls. We're back.
So Luck heads out.
Yep.
What's everyone else doing? Celia?
Celia is just sitting there and listening. She's thinking.
It's about midday. The ritual, them getting them there. You, we'll say it's right about lunchtime, as all this has come to pass. Wandering Silence, thank you for the $15 to help us meet our goal. Do appreciate it very much, and we will put it in the spell bank as you have requested.
But I will approach Asme. Do you want to go have that spa? I'd feel a bit better having some different clothes as well.
Luna's face doesn't change, but her ear twitches at the word spa.
She looks at Vidar and she goes, I still hate Florian.
You can still hate Florian.
I mean, yeah.
You don't have to like someone to work with them. Believe me.
Just because he was a good guy back then doesn't mean he's a good guy now.
I don't care whether he's good or not. He killed a Netherwing. We need it.
I mean, 3 months ago, Ishkan was more than happy to attempt to blow up this entire sphere. Played a long game and go boom. Now, he's working with us. Still can at some point. Probably. So...
I'm not
just
going to
say-
work with him, and she walks out.
Out of the room, or just out of the entire suite?
Out of the entire suite.
Luck. As you go out into the hallway, you are in a very big city, in a very big hotel. How quickly do you actually make your way even out of the lobby? Or could potentially Celia come out and find you still...
There's a lobby bar.
Looking, are you looking for the closest bar, or are you...
The closest bar.
Well, actually, as you know, literally straight across the main lobby from you all, when you first came in, your room was to the left, and to the right there actually is the big lobby bar with the huge balcony that looks out, that sort of hangs out over the 4,000-foot drop into the valley below. It's big sort of scenic bar. It is well stocked, and if that's where you head, as soon as you get a big smile and... someone, the gentleman behind the bar, sort of an older gentleman, one of those bartenders that probably knows and has made every drink ever created. And he looks you right in the face, even though you've never met him, and goes, Master Luck, what can I get you this evening?
What's the first thing that makes me forget everything?
Oh, I've just the thing for that. Something we import from the Underdark special. And he turns around and goes over to what looks like a very small, elaborate black wood keg. And this thick, sort of stout-like beer, ale comes out. And he looks you straight in the eye and he goes, it's stronger than most liquors. It'll do the job. And hands it right to you.
And he just... down.
I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah.
It's also like 9 a.m., right?
It's about noon.
Okay.
It is, I mean, it's like doing sort of a shot of whiskey, but with that kind of nice, it's like, it'd be like almost like whiskey mixed with Guinness, but not mixing the flavors, just the strength of whiskey, but with sort of that kind of nice warm darkness, kind of like a really dark pumpernickel bread sort of flavor to it, but with that of heavy alcohol at the back end of it. It's good. And with the 17, boy, that went down smooth after The this is gonna make a great no think zone.
Yeah, and he's just going to be there until he passes out, or well, that's probably the only option
Yeah.
for him right now.
Celia, you walk out of the room. You do see a familiar figure, as he's a fairly large figure, across the main lobby from you, bellied up to the bar. The front door is, of course, will be to your right, which leads out into the streets of Falcon's Crest. Where are you headed?
I'm gonna walk over, sit next to Luck, point to him, and be like, "I'll have what he's having, make it double."
And you see the bartender turn around and you've never introduced yourself to anybody. So he just looks at you and goes, "Madam," and hands it to you. And especially because you aren't the same person who came in last night. So
Yeah, and she takes it like a shot. She chugs it down.
yep, go ahead and do me a Constitution saving throw. On a 21, this is good, smooth. Can't put enough O's in it. Ale, and it, actually, as a lunchtime beer, even though it's strong, and seeing as you all haven't had breakfast, it's kind of serving two purposes.
And she just looks at Luck and says, "They're asking me to work with a man who is blackmailing me."
What do you say to that? I don't know. I come from a small town in the middle of nowhere. I spent most of my life mining. I don't know how to read. I don't know how to write. I can barely add up 20 plus 15. And there's giant dragons. There's corruption. There's mages. And there's God knows what trying to kill us. I'm sorry here, but the last thing I'm concerned about is you being blackmailed and then complaining that you have to work with them. The world is entirely fucked from my own small town, and I have to sit here while my family is away, my wife is probably cheating on me, my children are forgetting me, and I'm not fucking there! And he sort of just...
Just let it all out, Luck. Let it all out.
The bartender, having not seen the first one of these, just Master Luck, and hands you another.
Thank you. What day is it today?
It is. Sorry, just because I know that you. I'm the. Let me give you the. It is. July 6th. It's a Wednesday.
I hate Wednesdays from this day forth. I hate Julys, and I hate the 21st. That is it. I don't care about anything right now but getting drunk off my ass. Because I have no clue what's going to happen from this day forth. I'm terrified, and all I can think about right now is how bloody lonely I am.
You're lonely.
Yes.
And why aren't you talking to us about this?
So just... I don't know. Probably because I've never had to be in a situation like this before. Probably if I keep smiling, keep nodding my head, and keep saying everything is fine, and keep going along with it, and keep being inspired by everything.
Yes, because that has completely worked out for all of us at every moment in time.
Yes.
You should know by now that holding things in is not going to get you anywhere.
Bartender hands one over to Celia. Madam.
And she raises the glass to him.
Well, I could say
Now, and she takes the glass out of Luck's hand, holds it out to him, pays for it, and grabs him by his armor and says, "Get up there and talk to them."
Nice. The bartender won't take your money. He goes,
Yeah.
All your tabs are all on Mr. Linfoot.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Would you like these brought to the room, or I'll have them here for waiting for you? And he looks to Luck and goes, "She's not wrong, you know."
Fine, screw it. What else have I got to lose? No, I'm already exiled from my bloody home, as he sort of gets up. You know, what's the worst that can happen? Another Neverwing flies down the fucking gates or so, as he's sort of like ranting as he walks off down the hallway to the room.
Awesome.
And like Isolme kind of watches him a little bit and says, "I'll take both of those."
He tops them both off and hands them to you and goes, whatever you need.
And she says, "Thank you, I may be done later for some more." And she heads up after Luck.
To y'all's surprise, back in the... Well, actually, we'll switch over. What's been going on in the room?
Real quick, go off, Isolme. Hell yeah.
Yeah, both of you guys. I love
Seriously.
Those are both very good.
Luck red, the awesome attack. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, Luna, actually, after those two left and the door closed, Luna was going to turn to everybody else there. Would anyone else like to have an emotional outburst? I'd like to get them all out of the way now.
No, I think I've had enough panic attacks for one day, to be fair.
You know, for
This one's lucky.
explaining the fact that we had a vision in which we traveled back in time 90 years and saw a Netherwing get destroyed by one of our friends' mothers and my employer and a woman who was just in the room, I honestly think that was about the best reaction we could have hoped for overall.
I didn't say I didn't understand. I just want to know if anyone else would like to storm off.
No, I'm good.
I'm a bit
All right
busy.
then.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did Axel say?
I'm a bit busy right now. He's basically surrounded by paper again.
Okay, Axel's fine.
Yeah.
Hey Axel, just in case something like this, we have another party breakdown and another party fight. Can you be sure to just have something that can counteract magic? Just a precaution. I'm
Yeah,
not saying, yeah.
I was aware of that.
Let's
Fixing it now.
just in case just in case it's a scenario. We got to be careful.
Kel manages to kind of shift himself over onto his side and just kind of, curl up on himself a bit and close his eyes and, rest his head on his arm and just start ignoring everyone.
Axel, I think at this point still has your letter.
Yeah, it's just put it on the ground next to him.
Okay.
Kel's not paying attention anymore.
Okay.
He's overloaded. It's too much.
Luna's going to actually suggest, why don't we leave Kel to rest?
Yeah. Okay.
Vision has been impacted. So, kind of move everybody, kind of shift them, outsource the room slowly.
Yeah.
She will help Axel pick up his books if he needs.
As
Yeah,
you
just hold together and move.
as you shift and get out there, you hear an approaching loud voice, and the door slams back open, and in walks Luck, followed not far behind by Celia, carrying two glasses filled with a dark liquid with a nice frothy head on top of them.
Axel goes and closes the door to Kel's room.
Because some magical man said we had some special names and now suddenly the names show up again. What the hell is all of this?
Actually, it was a dragon.
You're still going. And so Luna will just kind of sit on the couch, cross her legs, and wait.
Drunk already. Can I have some of that?
Priorities in order.
He was raised by a dwarf.
Isolde like looks at the 2 glasses in her hand and gives Axel hers.
Ooh, this is good. He gets about a third of it and then puts it to the side. You're not gonna get that drunk.
So he goes, it's extra good if you chug it. And she points to Luck and says, he needs to have a conversation with us.
Goes over and grabs an apple and just...
Yes, because you know what? We've been sharing everything all today, so why not? Let's just fucking add to the pile as... Whatever your fucking name is right now. As he sort of just... Nah.
Don't worry, 31 days and I won't exist.
Does Luna think she could hear Luck yelling from upstairs in the bath?
He's pretty loud, but there's these are thick stone walls. You probably couldn't hear him from in the bath.
Muffled.
It's just like it's just like no, keep going. I'm listening. But she is gonna do like form like a water bubble and kind of like be bouncing that from hand to hand.
Okay.
I don't know what there is to talk about. I don't know. I'm a man who's lost everything at this point. I'm stuck with a bunch of people that I've been traveling on the road with all this time. I'm slowly going insane, probably going to kill them at some point if we're not careful. And, I'm hearing voices in my head. I'm seeing visions of this woman right here going to die, points to Iska, covered in blood and all that. People are, probably at the risk and mercy of my blade. I can fucking vomit up tentacles when drinking a certain concoction. My eyes turn red when I use certain things. I don't remember some things. Everything is going insane. I don't know what's happening with my home right now. I think I'm a little stressed.
Yeah, you sound it.
Is that everything?
Quite stressed.
No! Because there's this whole thing with these tieflings that apparently are linked to the child of the last, which I don't even begin to understand. How does one race birth another race? And what the hell is going on with all of this magic, these bubbles, the bloody vice thing that summons things and blows up things, and half a dozen other things, this weed thing that's going on. Let's not also start on the political nightmare that is the Arcana Mystica. Iska fucking working with them. So they are being blackmailed, as well as Axel having died his identity from some crazy magical loons.
Celia, this entire time is just like, yep, yeah, okay, keep going, come on.
Grain sort of comes over as you wind down and just kind of sits at your feet and looks up with you with his sort of big, still adolescent as he's grown a little bit, but puppy eyes, and just sort of wags his tail and leans up against you.
The one thing I know that doesn't go wrong is dogs. So just picks him up, puts him on his shoulder.
Buck gives you, Grain gives you sort of a lick on the face and sort of nuzzles in, sort of next to your ear.
Is that everything?
I think I've covered it all. Yeah, I think I got it all out. Yeah.
Okay. Luna will turn to Iselme. Your turn.
Yeah, what's this about blackmail? Iselme.
Get up and sit next to Luck and sort of just put his arm around him.
Would you like the apple? Luck, it's tasty.
Izome looks at you guys, and
Azulme also gets a dog.
yeah, she does. A dog just suddenly appears in Isome's arms. No.
Axel's just casting prestidigitation on it.
She looks at Luna, and then she looks at Vidaire. Says, "You all are asking me to work with the very person who's trying to blackmail me, while also threatening your guys' life."
People have tried to kill us multiple times. I don't really see the conflict.
I'm sorry, blackmail?
Yeah, what's that about?
Luna already knows, so she just looks at Celia like, you want to tell him?
She says, "He knows I am in the Obsidian, or that I was a part of the Obsidian Order, and he is threatening to tell them that I am still alive. If I don't kill, what's the
envoy,
tiefling leader,
the leader of the tiefling envoy that will be arriving here in Falcon's Crest shortly. The reason why there's all the extra security in town.
Sorry, the reason why what?
All the extra security is in town."
And she says, if I don't do that, these are his words, he's gonna go tell the Obsidian Order, and all of us are going to die.
Well, looks like we're going to have a nice little conversation. Well, okay. Okay. All right.
Well, if you prefer, we'll die to the Netherwings. Is that what you want instead? I understand your reservations, but sometimes you must lay your emotions and morals aside for the greater purpose.
It's not happening.
I to be honest, we either have, in this case seems to be, we murder someone who's attempting to improve relations with the people who are presumably are hated for a crime they did not necessarily commit, and upon that bring ourselves in and interfere with people we're trying to help, I suppose.
I never said she should kill the envoy. I said we need to work with Florian. There's a difference.
Well, yeah, that's true. We also have to. If we don't do that, though, then he's going to tell the Obsidian Order, and then we have to deal with stopping the Obsidian Order unless we get Florian to stop. And we can.
Florian does not know that we know he's blackmailing Celia. We, everyone else, can talk to him. Celia does not have to attend.
It still leaves us with the fact that unless we fake the assassination or something, he will eventually learn out and set the Obsidian Order against Celia and us.
We could make him disappear.
Depending on how our conversation with the envoy goes, since they both work for the Arcana Mystica and they were both there 90 years ago, perhaps that will change the circumstances.
I don't. Things don't always go away, and that sounds like one that won't. But
we need to make a friend. We need to make a friend. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, I don't know what today's backlash is going to give to us, but We have the chance to make a friend in a high position. Let's take that risk. Let's take that gamble. One friend from back from that vision. Doesn't have to be Florian.
Well, I'm thinking at this point, you need to look at what we've done, what we need to do, and break it down to smaller issues. I mean, because that's kind of right. That's a lot of stuff to deal with, and maybe we should find a direction. Because we've always been sort of going with flow, and everything's been happening around us. Perhaps we can actually say, no, we're doing this now, and maybe we'll do this on this side. But take a direction, maybe.
Easiest direction would be to deliver the letter first. Everything else requires too much. Requires more investigation. It requires a lot more. But today's been one hell of a day.
It's not even halfway over.
No.
It's still the morning. Yeah.
Yep, noonish.
X takes another drink.
Yeah, it's 11:30.
Morning beer.
Little hair of the cat.
Day drinking.
I wonder when that bloody Taylor's going to get here.
Oh yeah, we went for the tailor, weren't we?
Yeah,
She needs clothes. I probably need clothes. I mean, this is prestidigitation can only do so much.
Hey, that's one problem we are capable of solving.
Mhm.
That's a start, right? That's a start.
Actually, we can get Lux some clothes. Some ones that fit you, make you look nice.
We can get you what you want, man. Fuck. We can get you.
Got something that makes this day end quicker.
Got a ring.
Yeah,
You can go wherever you want in that ring.
Last time I went in that ring, I nearly lost my mind. Thank
Yeah.
you, but no.
Okay.
Fair.
Hmm.
No one's saying you can't go back to the bar, Luck.
That's true. Just good to know where you stand with all this.
Yeah.
Well, you're sitting right now, but yeah.
No one's saying you can't go back to the bar, Luck. You can do whatever you want whenever you want to, but by this point, I hope we are not just people you're stuck with. I truly hope that's not the case.
That's Future Look's problem.
All right, we'll talk to him about it.
So,
I want to go to.
sorry, what, Axel?
No, nothing. Later.
So, are we going to deliver the letter or go to the tailor?
Well, theoretically, the tailor should be sent up to us. That's what he said. But hey, let's have a shot. Or let's just go deliver the letter. I'm sure with assistance, Kel could probably stagger.
We also have a
don't
cart to
think
deliver.
Kel's moving anytime soon. We have a cat to deliver?
A cart
The cart.
to deliver.
Oh,
Cart,
to the
okay.
orphanage.
Yes.
Yes.
True.
We
Oh.
have that to deliver.
We also have the ring if we want to deliver the letter and get Kel there without forcing too much exhaustion or physical movement.
That's true. I think also, I'm going to summon Lyle. I'm going to put the ring on.
Yep.
If the ring's still attached to the
Yep, it's still there.
tie. As Lyle appears, I'm just like, thank the Frost Prince. I put the ring on, and I put my hand out to the side. Coming out, Puska, and summon the cat.
You see a sort of large bobcat-sized cat pop out, gray with black markings. Sort of gives a long stretch and yawn.
Now it's space for 2. Put it back on Lyle. Bamf it out.
The ring will most certainly be noticed as something not controlled by the Arcana Mystica. Are you sure that's something you wish to use in public? I feel like that is not perhaps the smartest idea. Especially since we are already on their radar and they will be checking our activities.
It's
She wouldn't say
something
radar.
I
Damn
don't-
it! I'm having really time terminology problems today.
It's something I would like to avoid in doing so, but if it has to be the case, I'm sure there's a side alley we can go and stand down. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'm just very glad that they didn't find out about it.
They might have.
They might have. They more
Cassian
likely-
might have also chosen not to follow up.
Yeah, curses. Curses, curses, and curses.
Different priorities, yes. Did they took the bow with them, didn't they?
Yep. Eva took the bow with her.
Okay.
So, what's the plan? Wait for the tailor, head out, deliver the wagon. I mean, you could load Kel into the wagon, potentially.
Luna's gonna turn to Iska and it's like, Iska, can you redo my appearance?
Sure. Pants on or off? Just kidding. And then she'll go ahead.
Again, just the eyebrow raise again.
Then she will again disguise you as her mother.
Okay. Luna will give you a peck on the forehead, and she's going to go down to the equivalent of the front desk and check on the tailor situation.
As you go down there, the person behind the desk, half-elf woman, looks at you and goes, he came earlier, but it was under quarantine. We can summon him back for you if you'd like.
Yes, please.
For sure. And you see her sort of go over to someone who seems to be at a sort of a bank of copper wires and pulls one off and whispers into it and comes back over and says, he should be along shortly. His shop is not far from here.
Thank you. Also, can we have lunch sent up?
Of course. Anything particular or just whatever the chef is preparing?
Something festive.
Festive, yes. It is. The solstice is arriving. We have some fresh produce that's just come in. We'll be sure to send it your way.
Nod. Go back up.
Yep, so you head back into the room. Anyone else want to do anything in this sort of in-between time?
Vidar has a shower.
Okay. Yep, warm running water, magically pumped running water with hot and cold. There's, of course, the large tubs. What's everyone up to?
Going back to the bar.
Luck heads back over to the bar.
When Luna came in, she did indicate that lunch will be coming up soon. Just so everybody knows.
And as you arrive, the bartender looks at you and go, 2 to go for your lunch, Master Luck.
No.
We'll serve them right here then.
Yes.
Would you like your lunch brought here?
Why?
And you proceed to get good and heartily trashed. Go ahead and make me that Constitution saving throw to see how... These are hitting you a little faster than you expected. While they go down smooth, you're still Luck. You're a big guy. It's about 3 more before it really starts taking effect, and probably within the next hour, by the time your lunch arrives, you are well and truly buzzing hard. After about the 15 minutes, there is a on the door, and first walk. Go ahead.
Yeah, Luna will go grab the door. Just like, nope, we don't want any problems. I don't want any more door-related incidents.
Yeah.
Calmly open this door and get the food.
Well, it's food, and actually, there is a well-dressed elven gentleman. Probably one of the older elves you've ever seen. Elves don't show much age until the end of their life. This gentleman, exquisitely dressed, and has come in and has behind him two younger elves with bolts of fabric that he has brought. A selection of different colors, textures, of all sorts of different types of things, and just sort of comes in and starts setting up shop all but right here in your hotel room, in this main sort of room of your suite.
I like this guy.
He looks very much like the what's his name from Project Runway.
Tim Gunn?
He totally looks like Tim Gunn.
I was
Wow!
I
I
was
wanted to
just
acknowledge
thinking-
how fast that
all
was,
three
you
of you
two.
guys. Tim Gunn, yes.
I was just thinking, designers, your next challenge is to outfit an adventuring party. You have 1 day for this challenge. We'll go shopping at Mood, and then
Yes. And he comes in with all of his knotted strings and tape measures and enchanted. Yes, it is Elven Tim Gunn. It absolutely is. Silver hair
Beautiful.
and ready to go. And pretty much with between his workers and himself, and quite heavy doses of magical fabrication, as I love that new spell. Basically, pretty much whatever your heart desires for your new look. For your new look today, for Falcon's Crest, you are able to request, and within the matter of a couple of hours is produced right there on the spot for you. And as we leave you with a delicious spread of lunch and a tailor at your beck and call to have your every whim catered towards, we're going to take our quick break and let everyone sort of give them a moment or two to think about, as we'll come back and let you all describe what you have requested, having seen some of the fashions around Falcon's Crest over your little bit of travels. And we will come back and hear about your new shopping day come to you experience as Elven Tim Gunn outfits the party. I'm going to take a quick bio break. I'm going to turn it over to NNG9 to tell you a little bit about our charity, and then actually going to jump over to Bird vs. Plane to tell you a little bit about Bird in the Storm.
Thank you very much, Jay. The audience, thank you for joining. This is your first time here? Welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. This channel is run 100% for charity, and the charities we support change every month. This month's charity being Pathways to Safety International, an organization dedicated to helping victims of violence, focus on abroad, hence the international part of it. And they have lots of different resources. They have counseling. They have services that'll help you move out of a situation. They have a phone number. They have a website. If you fear that your activity is being monitored, please go to a public space like a coffee shop or a library and check it out that way. If you'd like more information about the organization, please click on the purple lettering in the description below. If you'd like to donate through our channel, you can click on that banner to donate. And we have a number of different levels you can buy with your money. For any amount, you can add absolutely any amount to the spell bank, and at each $100 increment, it increases the level spell we get. Or you can do things like buy us a healing die, an advantage, a luck die, which is basically a mulligan for any die roll, whether it be a check, damage, whatever roll you want. There's also there are a couple different levels. I think Jay updated the description. I'm not 100% sure, but if it is not in the budget, please do not feel pressured to donate. You can do things like share a stream on social media like Twitter and Facebook. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Bird, do you want to do the storm now, or?
Yeah, just a real quick thing. Jay and I have started Bird in the Storm, which is a publishing venture that we're doing where we're creating homebrew modules. We got a real quick Twitter set up there. We've also been releasing the playtest version of our Module 1. If you would like a free copy of it, just message that Twitter account and we'll send you our PDF like right away. So you guys can take it, play it, screw around with it, and let us know if you loved it, hated it, somewhere in between, don't care about it, whatever. That would be excellent. Like I said, just message that and we will hook you up. In the meantime, because I forgot to do this last night, and I feel so bad about it, welcome
Good.
to Pun of the Week.
Bird edition.
This week's pun. What D&D race is most likely to be sent to hell?
What?
What race?
A centaur. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. I'm gonna go wash real quick. I'll be back.
If you want more puns, please catch us every week. And we've also got a Discord that now has a
quarantine
punishment channel.
It's
So
You don't have to put them there.
feel
Put them
free to
wherever
flood
you
it.
want.
You don't flood general. You can put them in general. Don't flood general. Flood the other channel. Just so we don't. It's alright.
Yeah,
General.
just keep giving.
It's encouragement. It's
Keep-
not
keep-
really to quarantine. It's encouragement.
Yeah, sure.
I'll put the link in chat.
The word quarantine is in the log. We know what you meant. Well, to be fair, Bird said that, not you.
I have a nice book reference.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, that's a great book. Is that Black Beauty?
That's Black Beauty. So, to anyone who hasn't read Black Beauty, which I'd be surprised if you haven't, but still, for those who might have not heard of it, it's a wonderful book. I don't know where to start with it because it's one of the first books I read. It is a marvelous book of bravery, of hardships, and of overcoming it. This is sort of all done from sort of the horse's perspective of life, and sort of being being a free horse and then being forced into working labor. Sort of it tackles stuff like animal cruelty as well as giving it sort of a more human spin to it. So it tackles tough subject matter in a very smart way, and it's just a beautiful story. And you'll just it was one of the first books I've ever read. It was one of the first books that actually sort of made me cry, and yeah, it's a hell of a book. And if you haven't read Black Beauty yet, get to it. It's got lots of interesting emotions to feel.
Great. Yeah, it's one of the classics. I can remember reading it back in grade school. It's one of those ones that I wouldn't mind picking up again for the next beach book or something like that, just to have a good read. Anyway, we will be coming back here and get us back into our story.
We still haven't done Palindrome because we missed last week.
Palindrome. Oh, that's right. You figured it out.
I thought I had, but I screwed up the T and the H.
Oh.
I thought I had it. Oh, I'm so sad. I was this close.
That's tough.
But it is hard. I will be able to handle it at some point, but that point is not this week.
Okay.
But yes, we still have a different palindrome, and it is and I vote more cars race Rome to Vienna.
Cool. Type that in so everyone can double check your work. And I vote more cars race Rome to Vienna. And dude, you rock at this. I just don't even know how you figured those out. That's just like so cool.
Some are ones I run across. I don't claim to create all of them. I don't want that to be the thing.
Hey, you're a
that
phony.
stupid TH. Oh, why? It was this close. So mad.
So anyway, we tune back in after several hours have passed. Luck, have you passed out at the bar? Have you moved out? Have you moved out to the balcony, or are you just sort of leaning up there, being at this point probably cared for a little bit by gentleman bartender.
Yeah, he's sort of like the food's half eaten. His face is sort of down there, like he's conscious but like mumbling.
Okay. And so Luck is out at the bar. How about the rest of you? Tell us a little bit about what you've had created by Elven Tin Gun for your new ensemble.
So Luna would actually give some directions to Elven Tim Gun for an outfit for Luck, because she knows Luck's measurements. She made clothes for him before.
Yep.
And more like the simple, sort of earthy tone thing, like blacks and browns for him. Just another more casual outfit.
Okay.
So go ahead, Vidar.
Oh, all right. Sorry. After Vidar's shower, he comes down in the bathroom and he introduced himself. Vidar Lycrum of Falinari. Nice to great to meet you. I've seen wonders about your work. I would like yada 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 yada. As for him is created this wonderful midnight blue waistcoat, and then a wonderful midnight black long coat that also has a sort of crescent metal theme that goes down the right arm to a long blue glove, and on his right arm there's a metal shoulder pauldron, and following down is a wrap of basically levers that then reach his hands. Then he's just got knee-high colonial style boots, and the blue glove is fingerless.
Nice.
And they just embroidered with like a pocket watch and gold filigree around there, and finally to top it off is a crescent symbol of is a black leather choker with a crescent symbol around the neck.
Very nice. Very
It's got
nice.
collars on collars on collars.
Very cool. How about
It's
you,
like, yes,
Axel?
this will do. This will do. Sorry.
I think Axel's going to look for and get a different set of things that could pass for not quite wizard robes, but have the same sort of multi-pocketed one. So he's going to go for one that's sort of just a sleeveless vest that he just wears on his own, probably in black. And then he's going to get a couple of just sort of casual clothes on, again, earthen tones, that loose trousers, maybe an undershirt, maybe not. Another wizardy robe, but this one is probably going to be in black. And that's about it. Just a couple of replacement things, but not a lot in terms of fanciness, practicality. And he's got, again, there's this sort of the shirtless, the sleeveless vest one is pretty much going to be his formal wear with like a white shirt that can go underneath it if need be.
And Elven Tim Gunn sort of looks at you and goes, "Sir, would you like me to craft you something for your hand?"
Yeah, I've been using bandages. Yes, something, and a matching one just in case. But yes.
And so he makes you a nice set of what color would you like?
What color do you think goes best? I don't know. I would go maybe white or black. If it's going to be practical, maybe a bit of...
Looks back at your
red.
full outfit. We should stick with black for the whole thing. I think it's going to bring out the right... tie it all together for you. Yes, that's what's exactly like we're doing. Whips you up a glove, and he sort of mentions, he goes, "I've has a little bit of extra padding, so it'll fill out a little better when it's..."
Does it clean well?
Easily. Prestidigitation, take everything right out.
Alright, cool.
Wash and wear. Prestidigitation and wear.
I mean, prestidigitation doesn't it's not like a machine cleaning it, just gets all dirt off.
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Isilme.
Yeah, so she walks over and says, "All right, so I need an outfit that would kind of complement the blue skin and the blue hair. So let's do kind of a casual, but still kind of
refined casual, so to speak.
yes, yeah.
Lovely refined casual for a day out, afternoon out on the Stonewood Wash. I know just the style. And he whips together this sort of tailored but casual look. Certainly not as fussy and as collary as Vidar's very sort of more formalized outfit. This is sort of what a proper upper class moon elven woman would go out there. There are lots of sort of accents relating both to silver trees and to moonlight upon it, and the color. He perfectly complements the shade of your skin as your. Yeah, I was gonna say, is you're like a winter. I don't know what blue skin really would be. Or, but
It's a cool color.
Cool, yes, in cool, sort of actually, yeah, sort of like gunmetal silvers type idea. So it kind of has that nice accenting of your skin. Well, doesn't stand out. It's not silly as black, but especially against the gray granite around here, believe it or not, it would blend in very nicely.
Extra rogue, and she'll go to her bag and pull out her necklace and just kind of put it around her neck.
Very cool.
Luna,
what do you have made for Iska?
Oh, I have a list. There's going to be 3 different veils. Of course, different fascinators with all that. I'm not even kidding. Luna just starts laying out several outfits for her. Several different performance level outfits.
Okay, so in addition to the performance outfits, Iska, what would you like to have made?
Iska asks for a new pair of slacks, and she asks for a larger shawl. This time, not like the Afghan style that she has, the one that's kind of got the holes throughout. Mm-hmm. She just wants a more billowing shawl that kind of hides her form and anything she would have on her a little bit better.
Okay.
She's in Falcon's Crest. She is trying to be as nondescript as possible, knowing Bati's out there.
Well, and yeah,
so she gets one of the most plain-looking outfits she can get, knowing that Luna has made these flamboyant performance gears.
Yeah.
So her everyday life, she wants to blend into the crowd. She wants to look like nothing and nobody.
Okay. So, and knowing, if you've seen some of the styles that have been worn in and around, especially having been down in Misty Moon Valley, some of those sort of, some of the things, basically you've seen people up here wearing sort of a modified, more refined version of sort of those sort of poncho frocks that like the Amber Leafs wore, and some of those, but more sort of suited for the city. It's sort of like, urban hoodie instead of necessarily being just like a slouchy hoodie type idea. A little bit more style, a little bit more tailoring, and nondescript, blend-inable. Luna, do you have anything special made for yourself, or have you been doing
absolutely,
your own?
Although I do have a question, Bird. When you say you made Luna look like your mom, is it just like facially, or is it also body type wise?
I think I can still do like your normal measurements and everything. It's just you look like a human woman.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure before I did it. Okay. So Luna basically is going to get, one sort of like normal tier city outfit, and then 2 that are more courtesan-y.
Okay. You sort of ask a little bit about what the courtesans wear, and for the most part, Elvin Tim Gunn basically tells you that they are tailored to their different types. So very much the water genasi courtesans wear these highly draped sort of gossamer layers, sort of very lightweight and billowy, that will set off sort of the way that their hair naturally billows. Not as lightweight as like the air genasi. They have a little bit more heavyweight fabric, but basically look like cascading as though the entire outfit sort of just was a cascade of color and also of different fabrics, and is able to put you together just a things that will show off your figure, but also it seems as though water genasi are known for leaving somewhat to the imagination. It's what is it that lurks underneath of the surface of the water.
How deep do still waters run?
Exactly. So Luna, having sort of being a tailor and having tailoring skill, do you have anything made for Kel, shirts or things like that?
Kel doesn't wear shirts.
But you are in town.
That's true.
Should we get him something like billowy or something loose? Something.
I mean, I guess.
He did borrow your cloak when he first came into town.
Also, we could just go ask. We could just go ask him or see if he's like resting.
Iska's welcome to, Luna would not. She just wants to let him rest.
Can I peek through the door?
Yep, you can.
I open this door very quietly and see if Kel is conscious, unconscious.
Kel is lying as you last saw him, on his side, kind of curled up with his eyes closed.
Okay, slowly close the door then, and turn back to Luna and just shrug.
Yeah, I guess I just give him some like basic pants and a basic shirt, sort of like in the same vein as Lux, honestly.
Okay. Yeah, sort of, well made, but sort of a general, middle class, blend in attire, earth tones, nothing too tight or binding. And with that, Elven Tin Gun basically looks at all of you and gathers up his things and goes, all the best to you. If you need anything, my shop's just over here in the overhang section district.
Actually, now that you mention it, I'd like another couple of outfits in the same sort of style, a more high-class outfit, and I will.
Luna's just gonna put a finger to Vidar's lips. Thank you for your services.
And he bows to you and sort of gives Vidar a link and goes, "Stop by my shop later."
Thank you, good sir.
And
Axel points to it when he's gone out, and Axel points over. Is that guy fit? Because
We'll have to find out when he gets here, to be honest.
yeah, well, I mean,
His clothes himself are magical in some way, so this all might just drop to the ground.
I was like, okay, we don't need clothing for him, then probably works out because you arrived with.
Templar, you've gotten very quiet since you came back. Your mic has gotten very quiet. I don't know if...
That might just be me or...
Okay, cool. Just want to let you know.
Alright, yeah, no.
Cool, thank you.
Loud. Okay.
So, it is 2 o'clock in the afternoon-ish.
Shall we get on our... Shall we all enjoy a celebration drink? What's the plan for the rest of the day, my friends? I mean, lunch was wonderful. It was very festive.
Well, we have a cart we want to drop off, and of course, it costs money to take that around, so we want to get rid of that, sorted as soon as possible, I think. And yeah, I don't know if we can deliver the litter. If we can do it. I want to be visiting the libraries. So, yeah.
And we have an interview with. You need to have a talk with Eva as well at some point. So,
It seems she indicated that she would contact us when ready.
That's true. That's true.
And the information on the curse would take a couple of days to study. So we have it to hit.
That's time I don't have. Well, who would like to join me in delivering the card to the orphanage?
I will do that.
The rest of you folks, do you all want to go? Everyone go along, or
Are we checking in with Kel or like letting him rest longer?
That's your call. Luna's not going back in.
Okay. Vidar opens the door to Kel's room and basically squats in front of him and stares him straight in the eye and says, Kel, if you can hear me, Open your eyes.
Cool.
Cal.
Food.
Wonderful.
Cal opens his eyes.
I'm sorry for the blindness I put onto you. Hope you still trust me. We're debating whether or not the letter to be delivered. Would you like to join us in that? We can all go with you.
Yes.
When do you want to do it? If you can make the journey, we can help.
I wanted to do that right away, but
Okay.
now I can't even. I can't get up.
Okay, let's see if we can do this. And Vidar is going to attempt to get Kel and hoof him over his shoulder and at least try to get him to stand. If you want to do this, Kel, I can help you up and help you stand.
Doing math. Ritual ended around 10. It's around 2 in the afternoon. Theoretically, as an elf, you have had a long rest since that has happened, which would pull.
Well,
off...
but I didn't take one.
Okay.
I didn't meditate.
So, I mean, like I said, if you while you were laying there, if you want to say that you took a long rest, I would. There's been time, but it's your call.
Well, I figured since it was so early in the morning, it would have been too soon for him to be do one.
That's fair, but still, Vidar does say if you want to, we can help you make the journey. We can even hire some people to help you get through the place.
No, nobody else. No one else.
Okay.
Where am I? Question. Did they clean him off? Because he was, when we last left him, he was covered in blood.
Yeah, no, he's still. They cleaned him off. I mean, sort of sponge bath, got the most parts of it off. I mean, again, that's what the acolytes, were there for, to sort of not leave you in just the mess of after the ritual of, of the thorns and the blood and the scrapes and such. I mean, they're well-trained clerics, and left you not truly fully bathed, but you're not covered in all of the blood and such that happened during the ritual.
Do I have any remaining visible wounds on my arm, on my neck, on my face, on my
no,
chest?
at this point, I mean, they basically cured you to your maximum hit points that you currently have, so all those wounds did close.
So, what, I only have 4 hit points still?
Yep, you only have 4 hit points. It is your maximum hit points at this time. They will build back as your strength recovers.
Okay. So, Kel will say to Vidar, where my cloak, the cloak things, and where's the letter?
Everything was left in there with.
Yeah, it's all pretty much right there, either on the bedside table
Yeah.
or...
Oh, I know, but he does, I mean,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
still disoriented and...
Yeah.
Vidar just points to the letters right there. Your gear's behind you on the other side of the bed. On the other side on the floor.
Well,
We also have a shirt for you. Some more clothes. I know you don't want to feel comfortable if you don't want to wear them.
will you
But we
help,
got them for you.
help me, please? I'm sorry. I can't.
I will. For the time being. Let's get you dressed. He's too weak to resist, so I am going to dress him.
Yep. No, so...
I'm going to make him presentable. I am going to put Ishgrin's cloak of protection around him.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, you, it takes, anyone who's had to help someone get dressed after a surgery or something like that, it does take a little bit of time, but about 15 minutes or so, you do get him dressed and presentable and ready to go out and join the party.
At some point during this, Kel will, get his hands up and just try and run his fingers through his hair to untangle it some, because at this point it's just a sweaty, tangled mess.
Yeah. It takes a little bit, but it does sort of you are able to get it to sort of fall out into a sort of more of its normal mane of hair that you have.
All right, so Vidar comes out with
And Kel will make a point, like the seed. I can't.
Yep, you can grab the seed, the letter, your other belongings that you were carrying with you.
The things he will kind of, with some assistance, kind of get his stuff stowed, but he will and put the letter away. But for now, he's going to hold on to the seed and his flute.
Okay.
Before I exit the room, I say to him, "You are in no state to be of use in any sort of combat. Listen,
I
you're
think
going to have to trust us."
I think I know that.
Mikkel, just don't have another outburst like that again, please. Please.
I'm sorry.
We got lucky. Come on. And I take Kel out the door to the rest of the party.
Yep, the rest of the party. Does anyone go?
Kel's wearing a shirt.
Yeah. Does anyone go and try to get Luck, or just leave him at the bar?
Iska will go.
Anyway,
What'd you say, Templar? Sorry.
we're going past the bar anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So as you guys,
Yeah, he might need less restoration to get rid of that drunkenness.
yeah, and we've established in my world it does. Because it's a poison. As you guys head out into the main lobby, Kel gets his feet eventually. He does lean heavily on Vidar, but is able to walk. You see Luck basically head down on the bar, pretty much wiped out.
Iska will go up behind him, put a couple hands on his shoulder, kind of lean in like towards his face, and just kind of softly say, "Hey, Luck, we're as she's gonna cast lesser restoration,
Zink.
and just, hey, Luck, we're gonna go deliver a wagon of supplies to an orphanage. That's pretty cut and dry. If you want to join us, pretty open and shut story there. Pretty simple. You want to join, big guy, or do you want to sit around
Okay.
here by yourself?"
Sorry, now I'm a little confused. Are we having two different groups? One do the letter, one do the cart?
I thought we were doing.
Sort of
The
round.
car.
Forward going,
Like
so
doing a full
cart and letter.
Okay.
Oh, what just happened?
You got very angry for a good reason. You got very drunk for a good reason. And then I made you a little less drunk for, I think, a pretty good reason.
I hate Wednesdays. Okay.
Would you
So-
like to go do a good thing with us, or would you like to hang out here alone? Either's fine.
I'll come along.
It's good to have you with, Luck Goldheart.
Yeah.
And as the magic continues to course through you, your hangover fades. There's still some of it there, but compared to having to live through a full hangover of the sort that you would have after the drinking that you had done, it is certainly far less painful. And just before Iska woke you up, you were dreaming.
Oh no.
Nothing terrible, just, again, trust and reminding you that for some reason you need to keep an eye on Iska. And you guys head out into Falcon's Crest.
Once Cal's able to take a couple steps by himself, Vidali is going to walk beside Azame and just say, "It's been a day, I'm sure. Are you okay with this? How's your face feeling?"
Say that again?
How's your face feeling, darling?
You did get punched in it.
Celia shrugs and says, I didn't attack him.
That's fair.
She kind of glances to Cal and then looks over there and says, I do expect an apology from him for that punch, though.
Just looks back at Cal and says,
When he's feeling better.
one thing at a time.
As soon as you walk away from him, he immediately falls behind. He's walking very, very slowly. And just looking down at his feet.
So you guys can take the pathway back to the Linfort Libations offices where you left the cart, where they stored it for you overnight, and can pick it up with pretty much no problem whatsoever. You guys are directed with fairly easy to ask of how to find your way to the knotted braids, as it is down in the knot section of the Falcon's Crest.
If there's any tolls or anything along the way, like having to use a wagon through the city or anything like that, Udal's going to pay for it.
Okay. It doesn't seem as though it's necessarily passing from place to place or district to district. It is more as you try to go in and out of the city, and almost like as though if you don't have a place to park it overnight, that you would sort of end up with a ticket in the morning. Luckily, you did have a place to park it this one evening. Don't know whether that would still be available if you didn't get it delivered. So you are directed back through the Windward Basin, underneath of the big row of buildings that sort of separate the overhang district from the rest of the Windward Basin, which is this sort of commerce area, and down a different path. Originally, you had gone up the Stoneward Rush, which is sort of this main thoroughfare that goes through the city. You sort of are directed down a few different paths and alleyways in order to reach a much smaller thoroughfare that leads out of the Windward Basin. Again, there's sort of cliff faces on either side where this road has been cut to make a long, sort of sloping trek. Dead straight this road is, and you don't go up nearly to the same elevation of the Stoneward Rush, but it's a bit higher than the Windward Basin, and you emerge into what almost looks like a warehouse district in front of you. And this road, as it goes straight, the wall sort of curves around, the outer sort of perimeter wall curves around until it all but dead ends into another gate, another major gate to the city. However, this one seems as though it's been sealed. It is made out of, instead of stone like the gates up there at the Citadel were, it is made out of metal, and has gearworks on the back side of it. As you are entering into this sort of more industrial part of the city here, you can look on some of the old warehouses. Give me some perception checks all around. Cilia and Axel, as you guys look around, you are going to be junk. As you guys look around, you are able to see a mark that both of you are familiar with. Cilia from Balathira, Axel just from your studies. It is a ZC logo in very stylized print. It is faded on the sides of a lot of these large warehouses, and you recognize this as the mark, the logo of the Zephyr Consortium, sort of the heraldry, and that many of these now derelict warehouses seem to at one point house different workshops, storage areas of the Zephyr Consortium. You can sort of wind your way through as you get down off this main, very straight road that you were on. You realize quickly why this part of the city was named the Knot. There do not seem to be any straight roads. Most everything is alleyways. Many of them are covered. The wagon, in many cases, you have to choose pathways that a wagon could only fit down, not necessarily the one that you think might be the right direction. And with almost no time at all, you find yourself turned around into in this maze, this knot of passageways and roadways through here. I need you guys to do investigation checks at disadvantage to see if you can find any type of wayfinding to find your way around this area.
Can I climb?
Yes, you can climb, and that will get rid of your disadvantage. You do need to do an acrobatics check to do that climb. Most of this is fairly easily climbable for you, though.
Kyle, that was intimidation, not investigation.
It's great investigation.
He's scaring the
I am
out
trying
of
to
these people.
This fucking road better straighten out, I swear.
Okay.
I did not mean to press that.
Yeah, no worries. Vidar, you
old man
get
yelling
hopelessly
at you.
turned around, and Axel, after climbing up into the area, it actually becomes quite easy to spot what you are looking for, because about 3 blocks over, another 6 blocks to the left of you, you can sort of map out a pathway, because you see a familiar sight in many of the districts that you have passed by. You see a large cistern stone that is in the shape, sort of a twisted shape of a knot that has been tied in the stone, and most of the rest of this district area sort of seems to radiate out from there. Don't know still exactly where the orphanage might be, but certainly there are people milling around there, and as you've kind of gotten the hint at around Falcon's Crest, most all directions, emanate from the district cistern stone. So on that natural 20, you easily can sort of see a pathway that you all can take the wagon, and you can arrive at the cistern stone of the Knot.
Luna's going to be trying to take extra careful notes with the knot, with her map.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. Do me a cartography check to see how well you're able to sort of map the areas that you've passed through.
You got it.
On a 16, yeah. You've made many maps before, and are able to, and especially with sort of Axel a little bit sort of looking over your shoulder, can help you out, having sort of a bit of an aerial view of this area. He and whenever you have questions, he can do a quick scurry up, and you can sort of see that cat silhouette leaning out over, seeing the different pathways through the knot. And you guys arrive at the cistern stone. Luna, one of the big things that you notice to the north of you, again, there is sort of a cliff face, not only about 10 feet high, but the big thing that you see is the backs of large religious buildings, obviously with lots of stained glass and religious iconography. You can sort of figure out with your cartography skills specifically, you are to the south of Matron Square, that the knot sort of is almost kidney shaped and wraps around the sort of inner the plateau on which Matron Square is placed, and sort of again to the south of Stoneward Rush, which is up at that level as well. So you guys want to ask for directions to try to find your way?
Yes, please.
I'll give you. Let's do a new investigation and or perception check, as you whichever you would like to use, as potentially in this area you might find some wayfinding.
Can I persuade a god to lead us in the right direction?
You can certainly try.
I will happily do so.
The biggest issue you have here, where the Talon Guard seems to have been very present elsewhere in the city, it's fairly sparse here, and as you go up and start talking to a guard, and you think you have him pretty well convinced, between Luna and Celia, one alleyway away, they're able to find a sign that says, with a sort of a tangled braid upon it, and sort of both of you, Celia being from a big city and Luna having some experience with orphanages, easily are able to spot. So by the time you've got a guard convinced to take you along the way, they pretty much have found this, because it's not right on the knot cistern stone. It's basically just one block back. And as you guys arrive, Luna, Celia, so if you sort of found it first, how do you want to approach?
Luna, you go. Luna's just gonna go to the. We'll hop off the cart, go to the front door. Knock.
Yep. You see a Dwarven woman who has a sort of heavy-set Dwarven woman, long braids, really thick braids. A lot of dwarves, are sort of thinned out somewhat to sort of make them a bit more ropey. These are, just giant, thick braids. A lot of it has sort of fallen out. It's right there on that sort of hairy edge between dreads and braids type idea with her hairstyle. It is sort of a sandy, dirty blonde. She looks a bit haggard, but has a big smile on her face. And hello.
We are here to return your property, and she'll sort of gesture to the cart behind her.
She looks behind, and her face just brightens like a sunrise. And she almost starts to well up and choke up, and she's like, we thought that was lost.
Now, to be clear, we just have the cart, not everything in it.
Some of it, the things were damaged. There are some things certainly salvageable in there. Basically, what was happening is the masked dragon had wallowed out areas inside of it, basically to hold contraband. So there is still some good things in there. There's still some clothes that are in there. A lot of the food has been spoiled or messed up, but in some cases it is food. You throw it into a stew, it would be edible type idea.
Gotcha. So she'll indicate some things will be salvageable, but not everything, unfortunately. We brought what we could.
And she just yes. Come in, and brings you inside. She goes, the guy can go around to the side. Just all sort of choked up and verklempt. As you walk in, you see.
And Luna will kind of just like gesture with her hand, like where the cart should go, vaguely.
Yep. Whoever's taking the cart, and might be, if you're staying outside. I don't know if Kel's coming in or not, or anyone else.
Kel's
is
staying in the
outside.
cart. He's just too weak.
You can bring it around to the side, and you will see sort of what looks like a little bit of a barn. It has some holes in it. You can actually see that might have once been workshop, or part of a workshop of the Zephyr Consortium that's attached to this. So whoever's staying outside, it's just sort of truly makeshift. Light bleeds through the outside. It probably leaks of what little rain there is in this area. If it ever did really rain hard, you would get just as wet inside as out, as mainly up here on Falcon's Crest, there's not a lot of rain. Water's coming from the cistern stones, not as much of a concern. But yeah, it is ramshackle at best where the cart has been motioned to be stored. Those of you who walk into the actual building, the best way I know to describe it is well-kept discards. It is every piece of furniture, nothing matches. Everything has been repaired multiple times, but with care, everything is straight. The floors are clean. It smells fresh in here. It's just everything in here is second, third, fourth hand, and this woman has done everything that she possibly can just to try to make it seem somewhat like a home. You don't see any children about. However, you can hear on a second floor up above you the telltale pitter-pat of children probably running around playing that type idea. Perhaps she sent them upstairs for playtime or something. And she's just, come in. I have nothing to offer but my thanks. Thank you. And she looks
Your
from...
thanks is more than enough.
She sort of looks from face to face. She looks like she's a hugger. And anyone who even gives her a little bit of an opening is going to get a big old dwarven hug.
But Luna will backstep so fast.
Yeah, Iska will like box in and like, okay, I'll take this.
Yeah, she does. She just
Big
gives
group hug from
Iska a
Darzel.
big giant hug. And, you know, she's a stout dwarf. Anyone who's within arm reach, even Luck with his size, just gets pulled in, and she's pretty much openly weeping now of just in gratefulness. She goes, it doesn't matter, any little bit in the wagon itself, we just never thought. And just, you know, sort of can't even speak in sort of uncontrollable weeping.
Yeah.
Oh, forgive me. I'm Ariane. It's just so nice to meet you. Thank you.
What was the name again? Sorry.
Ariane.
Ariane.
Okay.
Ariana.
They're Arian. It'll be okay. It's all fine now. I'm Vidar. This is my companion as well. This is Elise, and we're here. Yeah, I'm glad we could help.
Bless you all.
Luna, on the more practical side, would additional supplies help more or coin help more?
Oh, you've
For
already
what
done
you do
so
here.
much. I can't possibly.
You will. Coin.
You
for
should answer the
supplies.
lady. It's just gonna be easier if you answer the lady.
It'll be faster.
And she sort of looks back and forth and seems as though she doesn't want to ask, but does. She goes, we have some folks who will give us discounts and such, so we could probably stretch a coin further than you'd be able to. That would be most. And she just sort of gets...
And Luna will ask silver, gold, or copper. Like, what would be easiest? Like, would gold be too noticeable? Would silver be too noticeable? In which?
And she sort of looks at you and she sort of smiles and she goes, yes, silver. Gold would draw attention. And she just sort of bows her head a little bit and sort of turns away a little bit, but, you know, she doesn't quite know. She doesn't want to put her hands out to take anything.
Luna will just, count the silver out that she currently has on her with her, hand it over. So she gives her 72 silver.
And as this sort of large plop of 72 silver pieces hit her hands, as you sort of take her hand and place it in it, because she just openly starts crying. Oh, thank you. It will go to good places. All the children we'll make sure they enjoy the solstice just like all the other kids. And she is grateful and embarrassed and grateful and doesn't quite know how to.
Yeah, Luna just kind of like very slowly like reaches while standing as far away as possible, like pat the like Ariana on the head.
Yeah.
Still be as far away as possible.
Iska will
She
like
does not
duck
want a
down.
hug.
Iska will like duck down and just be like the body shield as you reach over her to pat.
Yeah. And she just, as soon as Iska gets in hugging distance again, just bone crushing hug. And she just looks at you. Well, you've done so much. I know you must be busy. You look very fine people, and I don't want to keep you, but I thank you. I thank you so much.
It's
Luna will
fine.
just nod her head.
All in the day's work and all that.
And as Luck says that, she just kind of runs over and kind of glomps Luck, and kind of blushingly glomps Luck. Is there anything I can do? Can I? Are you new to town? Can I point you where your next destination is, or anything?
Actually, I've got a question. Where could you learn to read?
Oh, at the library. Or she looks up and she goes, "I could teach you.
That would
my
be
honor."
That would be more than perfect as any compensation that I could ask for.
Anytime you come by, we have lessons. If you want to be with the children, or if you want to do it privately, I understand totally, and I will make time for you anytime.
I do not mind being with the children.
And she goes, we have lessons each morning at 10. If you'd like to join us, I'm sure the kids would love to have someone with as many stories as you must have to inspire them, that everyone can learn.
He's truly a kind soul.
And she's just beaming at Luck.
Luke's smiling, he's happy with this.
Yep. And she looks to the rest of you. Oh, all of you, thank you.
More than welcome. More than welcome. I'm glad we could help.
Now, don't let me keep you. You go the rest about your business. I'm sure you've got much to do. I'll see you for lessons, Luck. Don't be late. And she sort of, smiling, sort of chides you, as any good school teacher would.
Never out.
Hey, all right.
And now we're walking.
A pat on the shoulder to Luck and goes, "See? Day's turned around, hasn't it?"
I don't know. Still don't like Wednesdays.
Still don't like Wednesdays, that's fair.
As he's going off to pick up, I guess I'll go pick up Cal and help him because if he wants.
Yeah, certainly. With your strength, your strength, you're able to help Kel along, even though you guys are now walking. And from where you are, Luna, again, kind of knowing the layout of the area, mentally, as you were taking notes when you came in, it would make sense that if you continue going forward past sort of the direction that you came and kept going sort of deeper into the knot, eventually you're going to hit that row of houses that seemed like where the military were housed around the edge of the citadel, with that big, long, curving pathway that you saw with the very regimented row houses on it that if you wander your way correctly, that eventually you would be bound to bump into that. And even looking up, again, Axel could run up quick. You can see that to the east of you, you can see the plateau of the Citadel, which rises well above the area of the knot, as it's on a plateau, plateau inside of the city, almost 30 feet above the elevation of above the knot. So you're quickly learning, kind of looking up and looking at where the districts are and what elevations they're at. You can kind of figure out where you're going. I won't even make you guys roll for it, I guess, especially with your cartography skills. And after about 20 minutes of winding travel, as it always is through the knot, you find your way on this street that is, one side has the plateau of the Citadel on it, the other with these row houses that are exact duplicates of one another, which would eventually lead you up to the yes, you can, Templar, lead you up to the Stoneward Rush. And once you make it up there, you all are very familiar from your original journey here, that about 30 minutes from where you are now down the Stoneward Rush would lead you to the gates of Sentinel Row.
And so we are here.
So we're here. Do we have the letter? Just check.
Oh shit!
Dang it! Go
Dang it.
rewind, undo everything.
Yeah.
I knew we forgot something.
So yeah, you guys can arrive sort of at this big area, Matron Square to your left, Sentinel Row gates to your right. You still do need to get access. You still have that pass that Beauregard delivered this morning that to show at the gate in order to quickly get moved in and through. Any special preparations you want to make before heading that direction and through the gates?
So, everyone.
Thanks, Sir Honeybutt. I believe that was what it was for the follow.
So, Honeybutt. I love it.
I mean, as usual, just the hat down, the shawl covering everything, trying to look nondescript, and hidden for me.
Yep. Axel's putting all his weapons in the bag of holding. Everything's in the bag of holding.
But I was trying to convey that that aura of leadership, not leadership, but prestige. Just trying to put on my face, and then he's looking at the group, seeing looks at Isker and goes, Elise. Looks at Luna and goes, Lucy. Luck Goldheart.
Yes.
Did my blindness get cured?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought so, but I was just double checking.
Yep.
Multipass.
So Kel will stow his flute and the seed and get out the letter and the pass.
Okay. As you guys approach the gate, you can see it's these two sort of curved towers to either side of a large stone filigree gate that is sort of this woven stone that you have seen elsewhere. Normally it's to hold glass or as the doorways for most of the houses here, but it's sort of an open weave gate. You can see far in the distance ahead of you a huge cistern stone that looks like it is split in two, and sort of split on the bottom and then basically still one at the top. So it sort of looks like as though it were once a square stone that then the bottom half of it was split in two. You notice immediately all of the Talon Guard uniforms are quite a bit finer here. The color's a bit richer, certainly more ornamentation, as these are higher level officers who were assigned to this area. As you approach and have out this pass, there's a quick look at it, and they question, how many in your party?
7.
Right, through please.
7.
And you guys, pretty much without question, are immediately let through. He does keep the pass, as this seems to be like a one-time use thing. and you guys head in to Sentinel Row. It is a long pathway, central pathway here that where elsewhere most of the roads are made out of sort of carved and somewhat smoothed down granite of this plateau. This has been smoothed and polished. It is almost like you're walking into a marble floored building, much as we have in our modern world, where people have tiled it with shiny polished stone flooring. It leads straight up. There are beautiful ornate chateaus on either side. Either side of you on this sort of marble pathway. These are a bit shorter. Looming ahead, though, this is the huge, what is known as the Sentinel Wall, the Sentinel chateaus that line the outer edges of Falcon's Crest. Huge palatial, 6, 7, 8 stories tall, with part of that being their roofs, the top 2 stories. The steeply pitched roofed with gables out of them, sometimes 2 stories of gables within the same roof line. They are all sort of slate gray roofs with this dark granite stone. You do see some places where other stones have been worked into this to make inlays and make them very fine and ornate. The craftsmanship here is exquisite on most of these. Some seem newer and a bit flashier. Others seem very old and established and traditional. There are to either side sort of rock gardens with different, looks like even like gemstones and raw uncut stones along the way. The presence of the Falcon's Guard is heavy in this area. There's one probably every 100 feet or so. If not patrolling, seem to be standing watch at the main doorways of most of these, all leading up to this very large cistern stone that I had described. The courtyard around the cistern stone is very much...
Sorry to interrupt, but was there any more of an address other than the name on the envelope?
There is not any more address than the name on the envelope.
So before we went in, Kel would have asked for directions to deliver this.
And he would look at you and go, it's one of the older chateaus up at the cistern courtyard, to your left-hand side.
Thank you.
And so as you arrive at the cistern courtyard, it is probably the largest, other than Matron Square, the largest open space that you've seen in here. Most the rest of Falcon's Crest is densely packed. There are gardens here. Gardens with plants here, which is something you have not seen much of. There are, in fact, some trees. Not huge trees, but 30-foot high trees, ornamental in nature, sort of like some of the ornamental cherry trees that you would see in oriental gardens around this area. Most of them seem to be well taken care of. There is no grass or anything in this area. Most of it is stone and rock, but there are even places where sort of small artificial streams sort of flow out of the cistern stone that is in this area, and make a truly lovely spot. Unlike any of sort of the kind of, I'll call it sort of harsh beauty of the rest of Falcon's Crest, this is a little bit softer and has some influence of other cultures in it as well.
Do I get any sense as to which chateau on the left I'm supposed to go to?
You see in front of you what is the largest chateau. It is larger by far than any of them. You are not sure exactly, but certainly this one has great importance. There are other sort of lower ones. About the third to the left, you see one that is sort of far more traditional and blocky in structure in comparison to some of them, and that's the only one that really stands out here.
There are plenty of guards around here?
There are plenty of guards around.
I will ask one of the guards.
Yes, the guard, you ask them, and looks at you and does point to this sort of older, more traditional one, and says that it is, in fact, Larksfrain Chateau.
You say that name one more time?
Larksfrain, I will put it in chat.
Larksfrain Chateau.
So I will make my way towards that building.
As you head up to it, as I said, it's a very blocky structure in comparison to some of these other Outlander Sentinel buildings. Only about 4 stories high, and while it has sort of the characteristic steep roof of the outer buildings, there are no gables here, and there's very little ornamentation on the outside of this one in the way of carvings or architectural details, but the stone seems just ancient and weathered at all of the corner joints. They aren't nearly as sharp as some of the other ones, and you guys see all that. There's a short set of stairs that lead up to sort of a deep alcove that holds a single door, and as all entryways here, you do see 2 Talon Guard stationed on either side.
Well, I will approach.
I'll be side by side with Kel.
And do they move to stop me?
Yes. As you approach, they do stop you and ask what is your business here.
I hold up the letter. I am here to deliver this letter to Valerian Delgaranor.
The guard says, "Wait here for a moment," and he goes inside. Okay, so he goes inside, and he's gone for probably 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then comes out and says, "Come with me." And he takes the party inside. You don't get very far in. You see there's another, this is sort of like an alcove. It's inside the building, but there's another sort of set of interior doors separating you from the rest. And there's a door off to your right. It's a small sort of waiting area off the main hallway. And he sort of motions for all of you to, if you'll wait here, please, we'll get in touch with, have the head of household come and meet you in a moment.
I will go in and kind of, hopefully there's a chair and then I can collapse in.
Yep, there are chairs in here. It is fairly sparse. It is polished granite floors, and the interior walls are sort of the same thick stone block of the exterior, sort of monolithic in size. They are not nearly as polished or finished off as some others. They are somewhat rough. And there is some furniture there for you to collapse in. It's not particularly comfortable, but it's not horrible.
It's sitting. That's the important thing.
After about 10 minutes, you see a tall, well-built sun elf in half-plate armor with an embossed silver tree on the front steps in, and he enters the room. He has 2 Talon Guard flanking him. He goes, "Hello, I am head of household, Ephraim Larksfrain. I hear you have a letter for my master of this place."
Yes.
I'll be happy to deliver it for you.
I have to deliver it. I must deliver it myself.
Roll me a persuasion check.
It's confidential, good sir.
With advantage with Vidar's help. On a 16.
No, it's still a 4.
Yeah, a 4. He looks to you and sees your condition, and I'm not sure if you're fit to be delivering anything, friend.
You have no idea what this person has been through to get this letter here.
Iska, roll me a persuasion check with advantage.
Okay. Wonk.
On a 26, there's something about your voice and the intensity of it. And he looks around you, seeing most of you with all of your equipment, and goes, I'll need all of your weapons before you can meet with the Knight Consul Belgaranor. They will be safe and kept under strict watch. They will not be taken, but I cannot allow you to enter so armed.
That's fair.
Acceptable.
Nona hands over her stuff.
Okay.
So does Cal. He doesn't have much anyway.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to worry.
The whip and the gun.
Yep. And he has the two Talon Guard take them, and he actually escorts you to a place, to a cabinet. And he goes, they will be here. He takes you through the door to this cabinet where he puts all of your weapons. They're the only thing in there, closes them, and posts one of the guards at the door. You have my word, they will be safe.
Excellent. Thank you, good sir.
He then leads you forward down the hallway and around a central staircase. And to the right, he opens the doorway for you into a well-furnished office. It's a large room, probably 60 feet wide, 40 feet deep. There's a desk to one side and a seating area by a large bay window that overlooks, basically looks like the sky from here. You know, just sort of from orientation, most of these places have views out over the valley. There is a figure sitting near the window, but your attention is drawn to the figure behind the desk as he stands up. It is a tall, high elven figure, sun elf, with white hair. You see on a rack sort of nearby the desk a set of full shining polished golden plate armor. He's wearing a shining set of chainmail, well polished and well kept. Bit of intensity about him. Do me perception checks all around.
And we're just coming into this room now?
Yes, you are just coming into this room now. Cilia, you are good with faces. Luna is good with faces as well. So is Axel. There is a slight resemblance in some of the bone structure to Kel in this elf who stands up. He speaks, looking at each of you. I understand you have a letter that you demanded be delivered to me by hand. This is strange business, especially by the look of you and arriving at my door, carrying these magical items that I was told of, and arms. Who did you say you were again, and where is this letter?
I step forward and offer the letter.
He just looks at you before taking it, and you are?
I am Calathian Duskwalker. I bring this letter from my mother, Ravinia, on behalf of my brother Talarian. I do not know what this letter contains, but she said it was of the utmost urgency that you receive this.
He looks down and takes it from you, cracks open the seal on it, and you, Axel specifically, will see a release of small magical energy from the seal. He reads the letter slowly. He raises his eyes to the party and looks over to the figure by the window, giving them a nod. They get up and you see a willowy moon elf female in heavy formal slate blue gray robes and dark black hair. And you see as she exits out of the door. And he looks now directly at Kel and goes, "Who did you say you were again? And who sent this?"
I'm Calathian Duskwalker. And this letter is from my mother, Ravenia.
And you say on behalf of your brother.
My older brother, Talarian, who unfortunately in our travels fell afoul of a curse, as did I.
He holds up the letter and goes, "Now this letter says you are lying. So do you care to convince me otherwise, or shall I have you taken to the hanging cells for espionage against Falinari?" And you see the woman walks back in with Ephraim and 6 household guard behind her.
Insight.
Yeah, I'd like to jump in on that as
Is he
well.
telling the truth, or has just got an excuse to arrest us? Yeah.
Yeah.
On your insight checks, anyone using mulligans or sticking with what you
I-
got?
I'm gonna use my only
Okay.
mulligan.
Yeah, I'll use one as well.
Ah,
I'll use one as well.
Okay.
Still running off that high of learning how to read, man.
Oosh.
yeah. I don't know how to read, guys.
Oh,
So-
go
I-
Luna.
Luna, he is apparently dead serious. Something in that letter has made him not believe that you are who you say you are.
Subject us to
I don't
Magic.
I don't know what else to tell you but the truth, and that's all the truth I know. What are you saying is false?
He looks to the rest of you. Do you have anything to say for yourselves or for this imposter?
He's traveled halfway across this land through one of the most deadliest places to exist to get this letter to you.
We've walked with him for so long. We walked with Talarian shortly. We know his words to be true.
What are you saying? I'm not who I say I am? How? I don't.
So,
This is the
with luck,
This is the child of Ravidian, born from Ravivian, second born.
so either Iska or Luck, you can roll a persuasion individually, and we take the high one, or one of you can roll with advantage.
Oh, I'm just gonna.
You sure?
I'm putting my faith in you.
Thanks. Come on, +9.
On a natural,
Bup.
yep.
Bup.
Luck.
Bup. Actually, I think I still have an
You
inspiration.
have a
So I think I'm just
D12
going to add to that
donation?
19.
Yep, go ahead, roll the D12.
That's a
D12.
so 25 total for persuasion.
On a 25, Luck being an honest man and Iska being very persuasive in her argument, hands Iska the letter. And Iska, you look down to read it. And with your vision, a familiar...
Valerian, I believe you and your family are in grave danger. That is why I have sent my only son, your stepbrother, Talarian, to you with this letter. It has come to my attention the Archmistress, your father's first wife, is seeking to claim something of immeasurable power which she believes only you or one of your blood may possess. The last time she tried to claim this, it resulted in your father's death. Your top concern should be your safety, as your family does not possess what she seeks. The Archmistress has blinded herself to the truth of the magic of souls. You need only know that what she seeks is safe, far from the eyes that might recognize it. Even I do not currently know the location of the anchor. I dare not speak more of the events surrounding your father's death for fear of this letter being intercepted, but no secret can truly be kept from those who seek and keep such things. Knowledge is a weapon in times such as these, and I recommend you arm yourself well. Ravinia.
The letter is available to you in your handouts. And Valarian looks to you and goes, "This letter states Talarian has no brother." So, I ask you again. Who are you, and what is your business here?
I look over, just with my hand at Kel, the anchor.
His eyes widen. Looks at Kel and looks at the rest of you. What are you saying?
Stands before you.
What she's trying to protect you now have brought here.
We did not know the information of the letter.
I still don't understand. I'm me. And she's my mother. I grew up with my brother.
Kel, how old is your brother compared to you?
He's 2 years older than me.
You said
Insight
you had
check?
2 older brothers as well. 2 other ones with your mother's first partner.
And Axel, Valarian looks at Axel and goes, "That would be me. Ravinia is my mother as well."
Then why does this say step-brother?
Well.
And not half brother.
I cannot know all of Ravinia's motives. But
Kel will reach for the seed and bring it out. Talarian, his soul isn't here.
this is
He ran
grave.
afoul of a curse in the middle of the vice.
You turned him into a revenant creature filled with hatred for Kel.
On hearing that a revenant was involved, and the anchor, and whatever Ravinia was trying to protect, Valarian goes, "We should not speak more of this. Not in this place.
No.
They say the stone has ears, and the fog has eyes. Ravinia, wanted to protect this secret at all costs. And perhaps introductions are in order. I'm Valerian Delgaranor, son of Ravinia. Oh, I just lost his name.
Eldaron.
And Eldaron Delgaranor. This is my wife, Lemurilia, to the moon elf who has returned with the guards. And I think you've already met Ephraim. And he looks to Kel and goes, well, and perhaps you should meet your nephew. You see Ephraim begin to exit, but the door opens before he gets to it. Perhaps someone was listening on the outside. Iska, the man who walks through the door is someone you know. You met him just yesterday. He's a moon elf, swashbuckler, with garish clothes and a sword on each hip, and sort of confidently swaggers in, shirt open, sort of midway down, as he marches into the room and walks over and looks at all of you. I'm sorry, were you about to say something, Bird? Walks over to you, and you hear Lamorilia let out a sigh. Sathander, how many times have I asked you not to present yourself this way? She looks to all of you, especially to Kel. Our son is very special, you see. He's a druid of the Circle of Echoes. And as you watch, you see the swashbuckler's form dissolve away, much as Kel's wild shape do. And standing before you is a 15-year-old boy, not nearly as confident as the swashbuckler was. He has sky blue skin and short, wavy, storm cloud gray hair that moves like it's blowing in a light breeze. And he looks defiantly at his mother and goes, "Yes, the Circle of Echoes, Mother. Why not call it what the common folk call it? I'm a soul stealer." And that is where we will end today's session.
Soul stealer.
Swashbuckle away your soul.
Jeez. I'm fucking Dawn from Buffy.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
I didn't think of that, but yeah.
Yeah, you are.
Corruption and sneaky stuff. It's all great.
I hated Dawn.
You've become the very thing you sworn to destroy.
Wow.
Anyway, so that's where we are going to wrap up with our session today. Let's go around the room where people can tell us where you can find them out on the interwebs. We'll start off with Tunarth.
Holy crap. Okay, I'm Tunarth in chat. I'm Colin65 on Twitter, where I don't do much but retweet the things that I am in, one of which is this thing that you've been watching and hopefully enjoying and kind of blowing my mind. And the other of which is the campaign Essel of the Power Within on T. Fredrickson 80s channel, along with NNG9 and some other fine players, where we play completely different characters and Claudia's Brothers a Dick. And I also have a YouTube channel where you can go listen to some of the music that I have written for and has been inspired by this campaign, which I am completely unprepared to link in chat because, like, stuff and things just happened. So I'll work on that and somebody else go.
Luck. Good guy pie.
Someone's ain't got a mother who he thought he had. It's drama, all the drama. So we finally get to have a D&D How I Met Your Mother then. But anyway, I have been playing Look Goldheart, the Human Blood Hunter. It has been wonderful. I'm going to learn to read maybe, and it's been great. And Jeanette's getting married in 2 months.
Very good. NNG9.
Yeah, I'm NNG9 on Twitch, where I live stream video games and swear a whole bunch. Currently working on Jack and Daxter. We'll see how long I go before I rage quit. I'm NNG98 on Twitter. You can follow me. I tweet things. If you want to check out the Periscopes from the GenCon session, go ahead and look through and put a follow, all that stuff. As Cindy mentioned, I'm a player in T-Ferguson 80s game at 2 p.m. Eastern Time on Sundays. That's the Power Within. Play a very different character. I'm also a player in the Friday night game, now using the Modern Age system, still called Legends of the West. There again, quite different character. And, well, today's been fun. Everybody got out their emotions, and Cal's done. So, cool.
Next up, Bird versus Plane.
Hey folks, I'm Bird vs. Plane. You can find me here on Twitch and on Twitter at that same name. I'll be in a couple ongoing campaigns coming up that I can't talk about yet until they're announced, but check Twitter for those full announcements. Also, come hang out with us in Discord sometime. It's where we hang around and bullshit. So why don't you join us?
Next up, we've got Templar Warden.
Hello, I am Templar Warden. I was playing Hidden by Excellent Tabaxi Wizard with too many plot details that he can't put them together yet. He does. Just puts all the pieces together, but he can't do that. So you may catch me anywhere on the internet as Templar Warden. You may catch me on Twitter at Rainer Templar. You can also catch me in the Discord, which we have below. If you want to drop in there and share and everything else, we have a community there. If you'd like to join us there.
Awesome.
And it's been an interesting session.
Woo.
Mm-hmm.
And next up, we have Dragons or Cats.
It's been one interesting session. It has been one hell of a session. But yay, I finally got dressed. So I'm happy about that. Great work on everyone's behalf, because seriously. Those rants, guys, that was great. Also, yeah, thanks for the... I'm not going to say it's a curveball. It's like a straight-on punch to the face, Jay. That was a... Thanks for the plot.
Yeah. So, quick question. You rolled an insight. Who are you inciting that you got this nat 20 on?
I was inciting Cal.
Oh, okay.
Is he really who he says he is?
It's all about the long game.
It's all about the long game. We're about the long game here.
We'll address that when we come back. Next up, we have Tree Hugging Druid.
Hi.
Mama Celia's back.
Celia's back. Celia will still be on and off for the next couple of months while I get things ready for October. So I want to apologize for that because the next couple of months is going to be staticky. But yeah, you can go follow me on Twitter. I don't really tweet things, but I retweet when people stream on Twitch or Mixer, one of the two. So
very, very cool. And I am your Dungeon Master, Tall Squall. Hope you guys had a great time. It was a big lower heavy exposition dump world thing for especially if you are a new viewer. I apologize because we basically dumped the plot of the entire last 74 episodes on you all at once, and it could be worse. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you had a great time. Thank you for your donations for our charity that we're doing. Thank you for the follows and retweets, and for checking out Birds and Minds project with Bird in the Storm, and for all of those cool things that are going on. We will be back next week to find out more about what all is happening in this crazy, mixed up, twisted up world. And until then, gather your friends together and tell a story, because that's what life's all about. Be good out there. Stay safe. Bye-bye.